Hey, yo, what's up? What's up? I know it's been a long time, but welcome back. To reckless reviews with your boy M3 and the sophisticated jerk here, right on knowledge and relationships. And we're gonna be cooking and roasting hard than ever, though. You know what I mean? So be prepared for that.
You say you turn it up M3. You going in, moving forward.
Yeah, man. I'm always like usually turned up in these live streams, but most of the time I try to tame myself. But now, man, it's like no holds barred, man. While I'm out there enjoying vacation, improving on myself, looking at all these like honey badgers, man, and a lot of stuff that's just been going around that just haven't been sitting well with me. So your boy had to come back on YouTube,
He turned up. Y'all watch out.
right?
But
So
which topic we gonna cover today, man? Like you said, there's so much topics, man. I was like, shit, we might have to get back
yeah,
out here, man. There's like 4 or 5 different ones floating around.
topics, inspired by toxicity, man. So look, before we get to the topic, uh, as a notion, real quick, this Tuesday, and hopefully you can pull up Sophisticated Jerk on our Toxic Tuesdays lineup,
Yeah, I'm
because
gonna
we're
pull
bringing
up.
that back as well too. And we're gonna be breaking down the sisterhood, man. Yeah, I said it, the sisterhood will keep you single. So
Oh
check
shit.
that out at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, that is 7, 8, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Now, for today's topic, our nice little morning topic, we're gonna be talking about Cam Newton, right? And why he feels so comfortable, um, you know, creating like fathers, black families and all that, the woodworks. But we got the video to pull it up though, so we're gonna do that in the act of fair use. But again, I want to say shout outs to everybody who's tuning in. Get the likes up. Feel free to leave a comment or say welcome back or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna be cooking. So let's go ahead, man. We're gonna get this started.
Real quick, before you even play the video, y'all let us know in the chat if you think he's either creating legacy, because I know there was like multiple arguments with this where people are like, he's not really creating broken homes, he's doing legacy because he's rich. Then there's other people that's like, hey, he's creating broken homes because I think it's what, 3 different women, 8 kids or something like that. So yeah, let us know in the chat. We like different perspectives. So yeah, let us know what y'all think. But
Yeah,
my
definitely
bad.
dope. All right, so look, fair use, man. So shout outs to Cam Newton. Likewise, besides him creating single mothers, with children, I do admire that we have a brother that has his own platform, just like Shannon Sharp. So, Club Shay Shay. So, shout out to those guys, man, that's doing the thing, man. And, they're building well for the black community. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and we're going to fair use this and we're going to play the video.
The situation, and I think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
See, my situation, that's a very vague question, and this for you.
What situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high function?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in
My
relationships?
my life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from this. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go.
Let me pause real quick. Give a warm shout outs to Wally World Media. So salute to my brother. So thank you for tuning in.
What's good, Wally? When we drop the link, pull up.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely drop the link soon, man. Matter of fact, give me like 5 minutes. What is the lady's name, by the way? Oh, Dr. Bryant.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Bryant.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really do like a lot of research on her background. Some people in the comments said she's like kind of like a relationship therapist or a coach or so. But if I'm wrong and if I'm making a mistake, then please correct me under the comments. All right. But it's pretty cool that he had her on the show to kind of give not only just a woman's perspective, but someone in the professional field. Now we got the lovely Lola in the building, right? So peace to you, Lola. Many blessings. Thank you for tuning in. Matter of fact, I'm going to send a link right now, man.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to get her perspective on this. What's good, Lola?
One thing I always love, I love it when Lola does come up and click, right? So please join the stream, y'all. Okay? Oops. And let me make sure I go ahead to pin it for you guys as well, too. So. All right.
Yeah, so I was looking her up. She's a psychologist, so.
Okay. All right, so she definitely knows what she's talking about. But we're gonna continue to play the video because it's better to hear her perspective than just our words, right? And Lola says this will be a live reaction because I've been under a rock, right? That's good, And look, I've been under a rock as well, except that, most of the time on my timeline, when your feed, when you scroll through social media and then you still see the BS that's going on. So sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of stay under the rock. I'm just kind of like somewhere in the surface area. Go ahead and we're going to continue.
Or can I give you more?
Yes, more information. Heck yeah.
So I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
Damn.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now.
By multiple women? What's the intent of this? Or by your wife?
I just want God to bring it.
Oh, okay. And you just.
Because my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you would say it, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time. Drinking and driving is a decision that could...
I know you did not just go into like a self-commercial now, right?
Yeah, my man had a self-commercial, but shout out. But yeah, at one point, man, where he was like, man, I want God to bring him. Yeah, he definitely feeling himself. Because when she was asking him, like, do you want him by multiple women and stuff? He didn't want to touch it. So that's where he went to the whole, like, I want God to kind of like line it up for me. God ain't about to line up no fuckery for you.
Exactly. But that's every African American. No, I'm not even gonna say African American. That's every American's like go to. Anytime, like when you back yourself up to the corner, you gotta go to the Lord. Anytime, like when you put yourself in some type of foolery, God's got me. And anytime you start intentionally just creating single family households for yourself or fresh, for instance, like try to create single baby mamas, God's gonna take care of you, right? Anyways, what's my nope sound effects?
Yeah, so he was wilding on that one. Talk about he want God to line it up.
Yeah, that sounds like a man that's just full of shit. All right, let me go ahead and we're gonna skip all that commercial shit.
That was funny. She was like, man, I thought you only have 4. He was like, nah. He's like,
no, I got 8.
Yeah, he's like, multiply that by 2.
Oh man.
You're not taking your time.
I am though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, and disclaimer, the kids are innocent. They are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies because I can't wait to be a mom and I love the kids, period.
Wait, does she even have a man herself? Let me go ahead and bring Lola up in the middle.
She's single.
Oh, okay. Single should be already ready to mingle, I guess. What up, Lola?
Hey, I've been seeing this on my timeline, And I've been seeing people up in a listen, I don't know what's going on, but from that first 30 seconds, already know why people been upset. Now I understand. Okay, I totally understand. So let me say first off, I wanna call this what they call it house husbands 24, 25 shit. That's
Drizzle.
what. Yeah, drizzle, drizzle. This is what that. This is what that. Exactly. This is what this sounds like because it sounds like he's repeating females. Like I just want 1,000 children. You want to get married? I don't know. Like you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sitting here like he sounds like a female, and he sounds like a female that's on social services at best. Because right now, as a stop playing. Right now, I'm sure he's a celebrity, right? I hope he's a celebrity. So he can afford to have 208 kids, right? Because he's in the top 1%. But for the rest of the 99% of people and men out there, right? They cannot do what he's doing because it would be catastrophic to their lives and lifestyles. So his example is not an example of anything that anyone should be modeling after. So why he's even talking about what he wants as if anybody gives a shit, I don't know. But I'll be honest with you, even as a celebrity, even if you can afford children, right? A lot of times people that say they want all these children don't come from homes where they were children of parents who had a bunch of kids. Usually they're not one of those types of, they're not coming from a family like that to know what it feels like to be child number 13 of 27 and knowing that you really don't get no time in with your parents, and if your parents ain't together you really don't see them, like, and you really pretty much raising yourself. It's like, why bring children in the world if that's the scenario they're gonna have to live with? So right now I get what he's saying. If the bitches can do it, so can I. But you know, that's his masculinity right there, dwindling, okay? But at the same time, I get it. If the bitches can do it, why can't the niggas do it? But you know what? I would like to hear some niggas say why they don't want to be like bitches in 2024 and shit. Go ahead.
Hey, Lola, let me ask you a quick question. So for the people that be like, well, you know, Cam ain't creating broken homes because, you know, he's rich and he could provide the finances. What would your response be to that?
A broken home is a home. Well, okay, let me say this. And it will, in professional terms, you see what I'm saying? A broken home is a home where only one parent is living in the home, meaning one parent's name is on a rent and or deed, and one parent actually lives in the home. That is a broken home. A broken home in the culture means if someone is not married and they have children, that's a broken home. Even if they live together, that's a broken home. So there's a bit of a difference there. But right now, yes, on any level you want to talk about, he is creating broken homes. If you're not married to the women or even in a relationship with the women that you have kids with, that's a broken home. So I don't mind whatever definition they're going by, but he's breaking all the rules all the way around.
Okay, I do have a question about that because I like to kind of challenge on the marital aspects because remember, I mean, and I agree with you. I agree with you on an American standard. But here's the thing, right? Most of the marriage aspects comes from, you know, so-called Christianity, practicals, and different rules that set up by, you know, the man, you know, as what most people called it back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, let's just say, for instance, right, you have the father procreating with the mother, having a bunch of kids, right? But then yet they still make their vows together without government like stepping in and actually regulating on the jointness of one. Mm-hmm. Like, if they're still like holding their vows, let's just say like in a morale aspect. I mean, you could probably call it spiritual, classify it, but let's just say morale, for instance. without the title of them being married, is that still considered as a broken home? Because, like I said, I agree with you, but that's mostly because, like, in America, we set that standard. What's your thoughts on that?
So I agree when it comes to legit. When you look at the outcome of a broken home, which is children that do not get a chance to interact with both their parents on a daily basis. Technically, if you're in the same household as your children full time and their other parent, that's not a broken home. I don't care what marital contract you have. It's not a broken home. Now, sure, it's not under marriage, sure, but it's not a broken home either. In his case, he's not describing either at all. Like, now, I'll be honest with you. If he was saying, well, I practice polygyny, and, although all of my wives are not living in the same household, they live in different houses, this is the, culture, I could bend on that and say, well, no, technically he's not creating a broken home. It just so happens that his spouses don't want to live together. So he's not creating broken homes, right? Because that's the culture. And the women are really the ones moving that. But in his case, he creating broken homes all the way around. Like, no matter how you want to define this shit.
No, I get you, though. Oh, go ahead, Sophisticated Jerk.
Yeah, I was on mute. But no, I agree with what you're saying. Because, I don't think if people aren't married, but if they live in the same household, like Lola was saying, I think that's functional. But, like what Lola was pretty much saying, what he's describing. Because even with the polygyny thing, where, a lot of people, like, if they don't live in the same house, they'll at least live in the same, like, cul-de-sac or neighborhood or something where, you have that proximity. But yeah, with Cam, it seemed like he like, kind of like Nick Cannon too. They got the kids all scattered everywhere. So just when you talk about parenting, that's why I'm like, man, with 8 kids and you have all that distance, man, there's no way, there's the time element to being a parent where, I think that's where people miss out. Cause they're like, well, if you give the money, you put them in like a high lifestyle, it's the time that you missing. So yeah, when they're scattered out, I don't know how you can even do it or why you would even want to entertain that type of shit.
Listen, we all parents here, and I'll be like, my son has been in private school his entire life, and he goes to a really, really, really high-ranking high school now. Right? Because he's me and his father's only child together, we got time to focus. And I'm gonna be honest with you, sometimes I'll be exhausted trying to keep up with what's going on with him in school and outside of school, and then trying to spend time with him, and then planning for him, and then being a mom away from him. Like, that's a lot. And I only got one child, and trust me, I'm not in the struggle for real. I'm just in the parental struggle. So if I had 3, 4, 5 kids and I had to do all of that for at the same time, listen, even though people might try to do it by themselves, that shit is exhausting, and it always leaves gaps in those children's upbringing. I don't care who you is. Them kids is getting a whole gap. Like, a whole gap. All right. So, I mean, it's like, if he feel like he got money and he can put clothes on their back and that's all they need, that just tells you his mindset and how he grew up. That he didn't have money, and that's the only thing he felt he should have had that would have given him a good childhood. Because you're not going to tell me you need 16 kids. You do not need 16 kids. You might want 16 kids, but when he say, well, I want 16 kids because God blessed you to do what? Like, I know a homeless dude that can have 16 kids if he wants to, and he's blessed too. So it's like, what are you talking about? This goes back to the drizzle. You feel like you want to do what other people can do because you got a chip on your shoulder, and it's not really rooted in any culture. It's not rooted in any religion. It's not rooted in any logic either. So it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
So you think Cam just trying to use all that as an excuse? Pretty much, he just want a lot of chicks.
Yeah, pretty much. And let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Lola, before you continue, someone's in the background. I just want to identify this person real quick. His name is Grayus or something. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
Pretty good. Do you mind? Okay, I know we can't see it right now, but do you mind if you turn your camera on so I could identify you real quick? I can't see your face.
Hold on, let
You
me
gotta make sure you're not in trouble.
turn it around.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we're all good. But if I can't see your face or whatever, I have to actually step down for a second. Okay, cool. All right, you're legit.
Yeah, you can cam back down. We just gotta make sure, man, we don't get bombed out here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for doing that. So let me go ahead and bring you up here. Okay. Go ahead, Lola. My bad. Oh,
Let's get is it Jairus or?
Oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. I had something on my face. So go ahead. If he had something to say, then he can go.
Okay, go ahead, Jairus.
Jairus. You want to comment on this
Sorry
topic?
about that.
Oh, you good, man?
Yeah, so you talk about the Cam Newton interview with the lady. I forget her name.
Yeah. So what do you think about
right?
him as far as having like the 8 kids and with 3 different women? What's your take on that?
Now, me personally, I don't usually attack it from just a strictly moral standpoint because I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not even really like a morally correct person. Like I have to be honest with myself and just say I'm not, just to get it off rip. So for me, coming up from where I come up, like I'm the type of guy to where I'd be like, if you can get it, you can get it. It's not saying like you should forego all logic and be promiscuous with anybody, but if you can afford to be promiscuous, you can. I say go ahead, go for it, because if you got the money, you got the means, you got the protection wise, go ahead and do it. My thing is, I think both of them are wrong, kind of on both sides, because on one hand, I don't agree with the girl jumping to conclusions that you're making broken house songs, especially considering that if those kids live with them. Now, you could say it's a broken household because they're technically not married, but then again, I don't think marriage is something that most people need to have for a partnership or at least a relationship with your kids to work. I just don't think that's necessarily true, especially now because it's just not all that feasible for somebody who's making a lot of money. But on the other hand, I don't agree with Cam when you're saying that, I want to have this many kids and whatnot. I just think that's kind of, for me, I don't see why you would want that many kids. Like, what reason would you want to have other than the fact that just expand your legacy,
No, I appreciate it. That's some good feedback to it.
So let me ask a question.
Go ahead, Lola.
Does those children live with him, yes or no? Do they live with their mother?
They live with
their mom.
Cam said they live with him.
All of them live with him and not the mom?
That's what he said, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. So by definition, those children are in a broken home, no matter what home they live in. I know here in America, when you hear a woman with children, you think broken home. But a broken home is when you are a child living with just a dad in the house. That's still a broken home. So it's like we got to be equal on both sides, and that's why my position is. I kind of feel like the undertone here is I can do what the bitches can do, because it's not about doing what a man want to do. Like, he has already extended his legacy, 8 kids. Like, seriously, if everybody today decided to have 8 kids, we would have an immediate problem, like with the population and all sorts of things in society. So that is not what that is. If he just wants more children, the question would be, well, okay, is there a particular reason why you want someone else to go to the edge of death having kids for you, and you're not even trying to build a life with them? Like, because truly, men don't have children. They fuck. They don't have kids. Okay, they just father kids. It's a difference. So my thing is, as a man, most men ain't walking around just wanting to, have more liabilities on them. I don't care if you got money or not. I don't know. The richer the man is, the more money he want to spend on himself and having fun, not having problematic children and having to be a parent to a bunch of people that may or may not even be part of something you're proud of. Just because you have children don't mean that they're going to listen to you. It don't mean that they're going to make you proud. That's not what that means. So, it sounds very immature to me. Okay, now, somebody else can probably debate me on that, but it sounds really immature to just say, I have 8 children and I want more, but I don't give a fuck about those kids and their upbringing that scientists has all said they have both the need for. I don't give a fuck about it. I just want 8 kids. It sounds extremely selfish, extremely selfish.
Now, I agree with you on the point of the liability because, we got some articles we could pull up later, but I think the first lady that he had the kids with, I think they have 4 or 5 together. So I know Cam had to take her to court to get his Bentley back. He's paying something like $20,000 a month. So, it's a pretty, it seems like they're going back and forth with all kind of legal matters and stuff. So she was holding the Bentley, didn't want to return it back to him. So he had to take her to court. So, it's just I think guys, when they start having all these different relationships and, you're not in the household. And then if things start going sour, you got a bitter person, raising your kids and then, embedding that resentment into them, if things don't go right. So, yeah, I just don't agree with it. I think, it sounds good on paper, like you're saying, Lola, but down the line, it's just once one thing happens, you don't have no control over the household at that moment. So, then there's going to be, people going to move on. So there's going to be another dude that's going to be involved and stuff. So I just think, man, some of these guys ain't thinking this shit out. So like you said, Lola, I think it's definitely childish.
I agree with Lola on that aspect. I mean, and I'm not even just talking about Cam specifically, but just the notion of it. Because here's the thing, we gotta just keep it real. Most of the poor folks, right, are like sheep when it comes to the rich folks. And for whatever reason, people feel like whatever the rich could do, that they can do as well too, or the outcome in their life will be different. You guys have to also give in consideration. I think somebody put it up in the comments or whatever, right? But actually, it was Bruiser. Shouts to him. Cam Newton, he has money, so he could afford to be reckless. I'm not saying it's smart from what he's doing, because why have children by a bunch of women, even if it's 3 of them, right? And one of them is still holding you down, but then yet you're not going to be able to make that time because he's a busy person. He's still trying to make money to provide, but you won't really be fully there in your child's life. And you have to give account that the things that you do does matter to your children. So when you're a poor dad and you're, skeety up, around in the club and, impregnating all these women and having all these kids, you're not going to have that type of pull like Cam could to try to get out of these type of situations. I'm just putting it out there in comparison,
Yeah, no, that was good.
Like a Christian. Cam Newton's not complaining, so why should we complain on his behalf? Leave him in his mess. And she says, he or she says most men don't have kids, so stop pushing this pathetic narrative, right? But one thing you have to understand, right? Whenever we're doing reaction videos, Cam Newton is just an example of what not to do as the average man. The average man shouldn't be doing that type of stuff. Like I said, if you got the money to waste and spend or whatever, who cares? But most of us, we get into these type of situations. We don't really think up here. We think down below, okay? And then we start regretting and we start going online complaining. So welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. We're just here to tell the truth.
But let me ask y'all a question real quick. Oh, go ahead, Lola.
I was gonna say, I can't see the chat, but I was gonna say that when we say, well, why are we complaining if he's not complaining, right? There's a bias in that, because again, when women act like that, never mind if they say it, if they act like that, it's all over the internet how much of a problem that is to the community. But when a man does the same thing, or let's say, does the same thing, the question people might say, well, if it's okay, if he's okay with it, why we care? It's like we care for the same reasons we care when women do it, because it destroys the community. At the end of the day, he represents something that is not to be mimicked, but because he's a celebrity, people want to mimic him. And truth be told, right, when we say we can afford to have a child, if you're making $30,000 a year, you can afford to have a child if you want to. You're gonna be poor as fuck, but you can. I know people that had made less money and had more kids. Okay, you can take care of kids on $20,000 a year. You can. Now, is that a wise thing to do? Does that further those children's ability to function in society? That's a different question. But as a parent, I'm saying, and like anyone would say, hey, it's not about can you put a roof over their head. Do they want 16,000 half siblings that they'll probably never get to know? Do they want that? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I personally think that when people want to say, well, why are we talking about it? Ask yourself that same question when women are in the hot seat.
Nah, that's a good point. And plus, I mean, if somebody put their business out there, shit, this was his interview. So it's like, man, you ain't got to talk about your business. But yeah, I think we do need to like talk about certain things. And, I mean, he had a good point where it's just like most people ain't doing this, but, some people do kind of, I would say, like, give him a pass because he's rich. And it's just like what you were saying earlier, Lola, it's just like the time that it takes to raise a kid. Because, man, once you start going through it and stuff, man, it's 8 kids. I don't even know how you even would want that shit. After one, I was like, I'm good. But
listen, you said most people ain't doing it. Yes, they is. 70% of the American population is single but having casual sex, i.e., which makes sense to why most of the children had out of wedlock. It makes sense. And then to make matters worse, because now people are not even opting to have like the family structure, they're making more excuses for why they should do even more stuff. Like, for instance, try to have a child without the child knowing who the other parent is legally. Like, the child can't know who the other parent is legally. Like, it's stuff like that. So when you say, well, other people ain't doing it, yes, they are. And I bet you there's a lot of stuff that goes under the radar that we can't calculate because it's not something the government asks a question about. So no, like it's being done. It's just not being done on the level where he operating at. No, like, what is it? Him and these other dudes that do that, right? They might not be at the child support office because people having babies by them is profitable to have a baby by a celebrity. Why would you want to take him to child support? You're in a good situation, right? And he's giving you something that the average person don't have. You're living very well. But for the vast majority of people, their baby daddy or their whoever is not giving them houses to live in just on GP. They're not giving them a lifestyle like 50 Cent baby mother had. Like, that's not the situation. So yes, they are at Department of Child Support for several different reasons. So yeah, no, we can't say people aren't doing it. People doing the exact same thing. They're just not getting the exact same result.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, I was talking about the 8. Yeah, I was like, well, but no, you're right. They are doing it out of order. But no, I did want to ask you guys.
These niggas done had about 8 abortions in their whole life behind kids that they wanted but didn't really want and shit. It's like, look, let's be real. Most men out here that don't have no kids got kids. They just not living. Okay, like that's the truth of the matter.
But let me ask y'all a question. So the women in these type of cases, like with the Nick Cannon and even Cam Newton, like I'll say the second and third, the fourth and fifth women, what type of mindset would you say they have? Or do you think they're just as reckless too? Because like Cam and Nick do get the smoke, but do you think those women are equally like creating broken homes also?
They are. They're contributing to it. But see, they got an imperative. And this is why I always say that when you're a female, right, and you put too much into a man, you essentially make that man your god. And you say, well, without him, I can't do. So therefore, you will literally do things that animals won't even do just so you can have a roof over your head. Not even a roof over the child's head. You're trying to get a roof over your head. That's why you're doing it. Because the average woman don't want to be alone with a child. They know what that comes with. But you, a woman, chasing that, oh, it's different because you're chasing a celebrity. Because truth is, that child, you need that child so you can have your lifestyle. Unlike me, my lifestyle was not great because somebody put a child on me and I was by myself. So yeah, they are equally part of the problem. And it's like, again, well, not again, but they're acting like poor motherfuckers. They don't offer the world nothing but their vagina. That's it. So therefore, they have to use that vagina to do something to basically for basic survival. That's it. Because for me, when I think about getting money, I don't think about trying to get with no dude. Like, let me get with a dude so I can get some money. Like, I don't think about that because I actually have something to offer the world that's actually valuable. Like my mind, like everything else. But some women, they don't have that. So they have to resort to essentially what that vagina do. And what that vagina do don't get you but so much because it gets old after a while. So now they need to make the kids the point of issue. I'm not hiding that. Women do that a lot. You see what I'm saying? Especially women that come from meager beginning. But I'm not saying all women that aren't rich do that. But it just so happens that these women didn't. All these women you're looking at, strangely, they didn't start out with money acting like this. They started out poor. And now suddenly they got somewhere because they're acting like this. It's just a strange phenomenon.
Well, I mean, but that's kind of like the way how things are like in America. Like, you know, a man will be happy and quick to upgrade a woman who's working from McDonald's and graduate her into becoming like the mother of his kids, as opposed to a woman who has high degrees and is doing well for herself versus a man that's a bum out in the streets. Sprinkle, you know, homosexuals. But again, you know, we do have Stan, and then we have B-Eazy, the president, that's also here as well, too.
It's good, Stan and B-Eazy.
Stan, let me get your intake, and then I'm going to get to you, B-Eazy. Salute to you guys.
I believe the correct word is, the phrase is drizzle. If the man does it. It's just drizzle. What's up, everybody? Good morning. What's up, Lola?
Yes, how are you?
Hey, keep in mind, this woman also said that Stedman, Mr. Oprah Winfrey, is low functioning. So
he's low functioning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and low value.
Vibrational.
So compared to Oprah, I mean, that was like the whole agenda. This interview was men are bad, and you need to marry women. But also, I look at Cam. Cam looked like he was trying to recruit her, so I thought it was. He was just kept on asking the same question, trying to like, yeah, you're gonna be baby number 4. So I think that's how baby mama number 3 came in, because she was also a YouTube personality. So
kind of like a curious cat.
Yeah, so I think he's just recruiting women just to get them pregnant. So
bring them on to the show, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like when I'm looking at this, man, if you like, it's not only like him, Nick Cannon, you got Country Wayne. It's so many of this stuff that's happening is becoming popular. And even if you look at YouTube, there's other people that not as popular that's doing this. I mean, is it like now an advertisement for polyamorous families? I mean, if this is what we're looking at, is this was being pushed? I'm just wondering, like, what's the agenda?
But I don't even think you could classify this as polyamorous, because she said they got like at least a culture or something, you know? Like,
But because when you look at, but it's so different. Like for Cam, all his kids stay with him, right?
No, because the first ones, like I said, can you pull up one of those articles in the back? Because one of the ladies, I think that has like the 4 or 5, the bulk of the kids, I'll say. They're going to court back and forth because like she kept the Bentley that she was supposed to return back to him, and you know she's trying to get the child support. So yeah, that one's like a wrap, because I think he got pregnant with another lady while he was with her. So that's where that kind of so Cam Newton's ex-girlfriend Kia Proctor takes him to court over $20,000 utility payment. So that's the flip side of this shit, where it looks good on paper, but once they start folding, they want to move on and stuff. It's like, man, they coming for them pockets and stuff.
But when
Is
you
this
look
is
at like Wayne
Cam, he
Brady,
said that he lived with him.
wait, say again?
I said, according to Cam, he said his kids live with him.
yeah,
Let me see.
he said it's
But,
gonna be.
but why does that matter? I'm trying to understand. Why does it matter if the children live with just him or not? Why does that matter?
She
I
said
think we're
that.
just trying to get it squared away, get our facts right.
Yeah, because he said that. She said that he was doing broken homes, right? That's more Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon kids are spread everywhere. They said nobody works
Right.
harder on Christmas than Santa Claus unless you're Nick Cannon, because he has to go to this house, that house. You know what I'm saying?
But wait a minute, Stan. That's not true because they're in the same exact situation. They're the exact same situation. Like, you think Nick Cannon can't have his kids at his house at any given moment that he wants?
I don't think Mariah
But
Carey wants any part of it. Mariah Carey
no,
don't,
no.
because Mariah Carey was married and they divorced. So
I get you. I
know,
get that. However, I get that. However, what I'm saying is, it's broken home means mom and dad are not together, like in a relationship, nor are they living together. That is what a broken home is. It's not where your parents married. Because my parents, they was married, but I've never seen a marriage certificate. Like, they was, I knew they were married, but like they had rings and stuff, but I never seen them married growing up. So they could have been shacking up for all I know, but they were both in the home. So it's like until we were all teenagers. So I mean, a broken home is a broken home. Like, I don't like how people try to redefine that based on how the man want to fuck, basically. Like, a
but
broken home is a broken
if you're moving the goalposts, right? Because that's what it's in this. Not saying what you're doing, Lola, but when he brought it up to her, she kept on moving the goalposts. So that's why it's like it's kind of suspect when I'm looking at the interview, because I have to like listen to it over.
Well, I know we haven't really finished like watching like the full
Yeah, we'll have to get to that segment. But ain't no way in hell they all living with him.
Right. And then we also have
because I'm pretty sure that. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you good. Finish up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure the dictionary term for broken home is your parents are either separated or divorced. I don't think that entails couples that are actually together that are not married.
No, we already established that part. But what Lola is saying is basically, you know, if the mom and the dad, right, are not present together, co-parenting together along with the kid, then it's like you are in kind of like a broken home because you're living with one or other. Even if Cam had all his kids living with him, and because, you know, he's a breadwinner, by the eyes of it, it looks like, okay, you have a functioning family unit, but you still don't have the mom living with you. Like, the kids got to go from maybe one home to the next. That is a broken home. Like, there's no lifetime commitment into that, you know, along with the marriage and along with building families. So that's where we're breaking it down to. B-Eazy. What up, Brody? How you doing? Once we get to B-Eazy, I'm going to play the video.
That was good with you. Did you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
It's good. Be easy.
Okay. Yeah, not too much, bro. I don't got too much time. I'm actually doing an event, but I want to tap in because I got a notification out of nowhere. I was like, oh, shit. You know, so good to see that y'all back at it. But I agree with most of what was said. It was some different perspectives. You know, I thought Lola was cooking. I was coming up here to cook Lola, but Lola was cooking. I came to, I was like, oh, I ain't seen Lola in a minute. Let me cook her. But I'm like, damn, Chef Lola should put her hat on. So, and the apron and everything. So I'll try to just give just like a different perspective. But yeah, Cam, excuse me, this really ain't about Cam. It's about people that adopt his mentality and him using like God and invoking God in this thing is to me like quite pathetic. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're trying to make it seem like this is God's plan, and similar to what Lola was saying. Oh, you know, I've been blessed so I can do this. What's the difference of a chick saying I've been blessed with some sweet tight with JJ, so that's why I gotta bust it open. That's why I gotta go sell it. That's why I gotta go be promiscuous with it. That's the same thing that he's doing. I've been blessed with this, so that's why I'm doing it. There's he keeps talking about legacy, and I think that's overstating. Yes, kids are a part of your legacy, but they don't represent or constitute your entire legacy. People like to bring up Martin Luther King all the time. You know he has several kids, right? Do people even mention his kids when they talk about legacy? Or do they mention the business that he stood on? They mention his speeches. They mention his actions, and his kids don't even come up. Malcolm X has kids. Do his kids even come up? Yes, they're a part of his legacy. So I think people try to overblow this legacy thing. Oh, I went out and just spread my seed for my legacy, and then come to find out, niggas will have 5 kids and none of your kids like you. What the fuck type of legacy is that? Like, come on now. Like, people got to just like stop being goofy and juvenile with some of these things. It's no way in hell that 8 kids are living with him. And if they are, he got 3 different moms. Did he move the moms in? Kids need their mom and their dad. But they're being raised by what? Cam Newton and the nanny? Cam Newton and the tutor? Cam Newton and the chef? Cam Newton and his personal trainer? Like, come on now. So then he's going to be closer to some people that he hired more so than his mom or his parent and stuff. So look, man. And then people hide behind the money. Oh, he got money. He can do that. You know, if a dude got money and he goes and shoots somebody, he still committed a crime. Yeah, he may have chances of getting off. It still don't make it cool what he did just because he had money. So if he's going around spreading his seed recklessly, unabandoned, just because he has money, don't make it cool. Like if M3 did that, like there would be all sorts of divester videos talking about how he ain't, you know, oh, he ain't nothing. But since it's Cam, it's like all sorts of rationalizations. He can do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? I really don't care. But like Mr. Sophisticated said, he put his stuff out there in the public sphere so it could be dissected. So when people are like, oh, well, why are you complaining? He doesn't care. Obviously, he does care. No, there's no gun. Did anyone see a gun to his head forcing him to divulge his information? So he's willingly putting his business out there so people can talk about it. So people could agree with them and disagree with them. So yes, he can do whatever he wants, but what he's doing is not conducive to community building. Imagine you got 8 kids, right? And one has a ballet lesson and someone has a football game. You go to the football game, you upset the kid that you didn't even go to her ballet recital. Okay, cool, I go to the ballet recital, but then you didn't make it to this other kid's graduation. You know what I mean? So all of those nuances and stuff no one is talking about. They're just talking about legacy. And they don't even know if their kids are his kids even like him. Or if his kids are gonna live on the Cam Newton name. Some kids try to get out of the shadow of their parents. You see how Will Smith kids turned out? They don't want to be known for being Will Smith's kids. And when you think of Will Smith, is it automatically, do you think of his legacy as his kids? His legacy is Jada? Or the work that he put in himself, you know, with the marriage and accolades that he gained? So I'm just saying, people got to have a more complete discussion rather than try to rationalize the buffoonery that Cam is doing. And I got to head out, but I love y'all. Keep cooking.
All right,
Hey,
shout out
good
to
to
you,
see you up here,
B-Eazy.
B-Eazy.
That was good. I can't even disagree at all. Okay, B-Eazy, get out here.
Nah, y'all was cooking.
I agree. He wrapped it up perfectly. In my opinion, that was great. Honestly,
And I like the point he brought up. Hold on, when he was talking about how the kids feel when the parents miss events, or even when like say like in Cam's case, if he has kids from like the first one, he got 4 or 5, and he keeps creating separate households, and say eventually he gets with one mom and has kids with her, it's going to be a different type of relationship that the kids sometimes got to, watch. They were like, hey, my dad's over there living with them. He's got a different type of relationship. So I think sometimes like people don't take that into consideration, the different relationships you will have to kind of create, just, looking at which moms you're going to end up with. Because I know like 50 Cent's son, if you look at his first son, that relationship is strained. And then you see him taking pictures like he's all close with the new son and stuff like that. So yeah, I can see how that could hurt a kid. When you're looking at it like, damn, like he's all going to events with that kid and he don't even mess with me. So
yeah, because 50 Cent don't like your mother. That's why he don't like you.
But that's what I'm saying, man.
That's how it is, man. Like if it depends on the relationship with your mother, you're gonna get punished. If the relationship with your mother is strained, your relationship with your father is strained.
But see, that's the issue I have with these situations, because it's almost like if you messing with a chick that's like damn near gonna like let you have a baby with her just so she can get paid, do you think like you gonna have a great relationship with her? So it's like eventually that shit gonna run its course and she's gonna, that's gonna blow up. So that's what I'm saying. It's almost like they walking into dysfunction. So I don't think like Cam and what's his name, Nick Cannon, I don't even think they're thinking this stuff out, because it's like, man, the type of chick that you're even messing with to begin with is already mentally broken. So that's the chick that you got over, like kind of leading your kids, and that's supposed to be like teaching them while you're out, because they're both ambitious guys. So they're not going to be around. So it's like, man, you got broken women, like teaching your kids and stuff. And you think like you going to have a good legacy, like B-Eazy was saying? Shit, get the fuck out of here.
In all fairness, though, I'm going to say this. The Nick Cannon one, I think we got to separate that one, because Nick Cannon interview, he's worse.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But he's far worse. But I'm just saying, like, when you get
an interview with Cam Newton?
No,
with the same lady.
The same
okay. I got it.
Yeah, because what he talked about is how he reeled women in, and then he destroyed the relationship so they could care for him. I'm just summing up. And that by itself is something else, because Nick Cannon came, he was married. He already had twins. He didn't really need to go ahead and do all this stuff. All of a sudden, he just did everything, and he's keep on bringing in more and more women. I think that's like, it looks the same, but like when you look at the Nick Cannon interview, man, Nick Cannon's a whole villain.
So you don't think Cam is as bad though?
No, Cam is like, Cam is a breeder. You can look at him, he's trying to lure her in, just like, you'll never deal with a man with kids. You'll never deal with a single daddy. He just kept on asking the same thing, trying to get her to say yes, yes. I'm just like, dude, like, turn off the camera and handle this later. Like, we don't need to see this. If you want to take her out to
but it's an ego thing. He got to prove a point to the world, so we know.
How's it equal? You can tell.
I said not equal. I said it's an ego thing. EGO. It's all
they
about
probably
the
hit
ego.
it off afterwards, right? But when you look, the interview between Cam and her is different from the interview with her and Nick. The interview with Cam and her looked like they're about to date or something. He's trying to break her down so that she could be maybe number 4 or 5, right?
You say he was about to put her on the squad, huh? She was about to get a jersey out here.
I put her on the team,
Nick Cannon, the interview with those two looked like she was the auntie. Like she was trying to, what I'm saying? She was like, you're a little brother. I mean, Nick Cannon is only 5'4", 5'7".
Yeah, she was kind of scolding Nick, like
Yeah,
talking
Nick
to him
was
like a little sibling. Yeah, where like
Yes.
Cam, they actually had an adult conversation. Yeah, Nick looked mad young and childish on that one.
Yes, and the body language, legs crossed, trying to like the power stance between the two. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. And they going back and forth because Cam is trying to, trying to catch her in her words, trying to correct her. And it was crazy. I'm like, okay. So
I ain't gonna lie. Cam looked comfortable as hell. Cam actually looked like he just got some ass anyways before this interview.
I mean, you never know. You probably slapped her cheeks before then, So.
Yeah, when you live in that lifestyle, anything's possible.
Let me read this comment, guys, right? And I'm gonna play the video because we gotta get to it.
What's good, Bruiser? Pull up.
Bruiser
that's
says
my guy.
that women have been making babies out of wedlock since forever. The difference is when a man does it, he can care for the child and the child's mother forever. So again, he said the difference is the difference is when this man, Cam Newton, does it, he can care for the child and the child's mother forever. Okay, I read that wrong, but I get you though. Because, of course, as Ricky Williams will say too, money fixes everything. I mean, that's up for a debate. But
what's good, Ricky? Nah, I think he being sarcastic. Ricky be breaking stuff down. Ricky all about family and stuff, man. Ricky stand up.
Yeah, but salute to the bros, man. Like, I'm glad you guys, are here, man. Just giving your comments, man, supporting the channel. So much appreciated. Let's go ahead, man. We're gonna clear this video out the way, man, because she does grill him, and I would love to see that again.
but you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and him knowing you thus far. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me more like a song.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box.
Hold for 1 second. Bring Lola back up in here. All right, Lola, cool. Thank you for coming up. In the future, right, whenever a person says, in all due respect, just be prepared to get your feelings hurt. Just want to kind of put that out there. I think she was finished.
It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health wise, and community wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife. And then you have all these other houses that are homeless.
Can we pause?
Over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying.
Okay. What's going on here? Because she's not gonna tell another female, you out here not married, having all these kids, and she's not gonna do no other female and say you're not helping our community. Meanwhile, she looking like a whole wife, ain't she right here? Mm-hmm.
She look like a whole.
She look like a whole wife. Like somebody,
a whole wife. Okay.
Not a whole wife, but a whole.
Not
wife.
a WH, but an H, right? Yeah, okay. Take the W silent.
Okay, she look like a whole wife out here with her tits out and everything going on. And it's like, listen, stop it. Okay, he doing the what you say, Stan, drizzle, sprinkle, whatever.
No,
whatever.
drizzle.
He's doing drizzle because all these females been doing sprinkle for the last whatever amount of years. Now the thing is, I get it. It's petty. It's petty as fuck. It's like we got a community and shit is petty. But at the end of the day, right? If you're not gonna tell a female that she ain't shit because she let a nigga run up in her bra and bust off, and she don't got a right to do whatever she want to do with her body, like don't sit here and tell him he don't got a right to do whatever he want to do with his body. I get it. It is fucking stuff, but you're gonna have to be fair on both sides at this point because that don't even sound right. It's saying, well, you're not making wives. Who give a fuck about making a wife or a husband? Like, who? Seven? Like, who?
Well, because here's the thing.
She do look like she just came from happy hour, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. Like she's like, like the lady of the night. I'm gonna go off the whim on this one, right? Because I did promise some entertainment, and I did promise to go ham on this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna lay it out, right? Yeah. Look, the bitch is trying to get chose, okay? This is why she got her tits all perked out, okay? Because look, she's trying to make sure that by the end of the show, even if she's going viral by chin checking Cam, look, he already got her in the bag, all right? She's already lined up for baby number 4. I'll give her about like a couple more days, okay? Well, probably I'll give 2 more weeks after this interview, right? And then she's gonna be pregnant, okay? Look,
Nah, I don't think she gonna go down that road.
She asked the wrong question. She should have asked him, do you feel that other men should follow in your footsteps because you're so confident in your footsteps? Do you feel you're an example to your community? That's a better question versus telling him he's not doing right because he's not married. Like that it's highly political when you frame it that way. She should have asked him that, because truth be told, she would have gave him the opportunity to say, well, yeah, I think I am an example to everybody making under 50K. I think I am. And he would have made an ass of himself. But because she doing this, it almost sounds accusatory, and it doesn't even sound accusatory in the correct way. Like, you telling him he should be married. Okay.
That's what I said. The whole thing looked like an agenda. Like, she had this stance that was very, I'm like, yo, where are you going with this? Because you're pushing marriage, but let's be real here. Who wants to go into a marriage with a man that already got 8 kids, 3 women staying at the same house? Where are you going to stay?
Yeah,
Where
good
you
point.
Go? Your kids going to be number 9 and 10. And 11 or 12.
Only a silly bitch lines up for that. Only a silly bitch, which is why his baby mothers are silly bitches, and now he got the kids. Because trust me, he can't get no female like me or remotely like me that's willing to sign up to be number anything, let alone in that situation. Like, no. If you got a child with, if you're dating a guy and he going through divorce issues with his baby mother because they beefing and brawling, right? That tells you pretty much what's going to happen with you. That tells you that when you come in and you try to be stepmommy to that child and their mother and father are already going through shit, you ain't going to be able to tell that child a motherfucking thing. That you're going to be on the sidelines. And if you have a child, you definitely going to be separating the things you do for your child versus that child, because it's too much drama. And my thing is, I can give credit to the polygynous men at this point that say, listen, we got a culture that we live by. It ain't no, I just go out there and fuck who I want to fuck. It's like, if I really want to marry a woman, I'm bringing her in as my family, and this is not a thing of me just wanting to have kids. So, I mean, like every polygynous circumstance ain't there with children. I know an old man, he like 80 something years old, he got 2 wives. He don't got kids by neither one of them. So I'm just saying, I can give credit to that, but this right here is just ratchet. Now, she being more ratchet, but it is ratchet.
Why is she
So
ratchet?
let me ask y'all a question. So what percentage would y'all say of females in the United States would give Cam a baby because of how much money he has?
I'll say like 85%. The other rest are Christian. So
I say a good 45% that I'm silent on would sign up because of his money, because it's a money-driven culture. They would sign up because of his money. But I'll be honest with you, even with that 45%, half of them would leave him and try to be without him and take his money, not try to be with him for it. They'll get with him because he got money, but then once they get in there and get pregnant, they try to.
Wait, Lola, you said 85%?
No, I said 45% of women would gladly sign up for that because of his money. But half of them, at minimum, is going to try to get out and take his money with him. That's the other part of that.
Oh, okay.
All right, what about you, Stan?
I'm going to say 95%, and I'm including the Christian women. They'll try to get married to him. And then go ahead and brag about it, and then have a podcast about how happy their marriage is and how they work out with a blended family, and how, they working as a unit, and how God blessed the whole thing. And then next they're at the house of Peter Jakes and doing all this crazy stuff. So I say 95%. And the reason, and look, I'm going to say this. People marry Bobby Brown, and all Bobby Brown kids named Bobby Brown, exception of their middle name. people married George Foreman, and all his kids from different women, different marriages, named George Foreman, put in their middle name. You know what I'm saying? So like, women have done it no matter what you. It's either as a status, either you do care about the person, you're just going to accept it. I mean, that's the whole thing. People make choices and decisions, and this is the outcome. I'm saying 95%. There's a Christian woman out there that wants to be Mrs. Cam Newton, and they, because even this interview, she put Christ in there. So, all things are possible. So,
oh gosh, she put the Lord's name in vain, huh?
So, Jairus, what percentage you did we say your name right? Garris, okay. What percentage would you give?
I'm gonna have to piggyback off the guy who just spoke. I'm gonna have to say 95%. I mean, I think.
Damn.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I'm not even saying this is just like a women thing, right? If God forbid, what's the name of that basketball player, the one that just got drafted?
I have no idea.
And does nobody know the WNBA girl who just got drafted, the white girl?
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, if Caitlin Clark was, let's just say she's like a female version of Cam Newton. She goes out making a whole bunch of babies with men, and then like moving those same guys in. Like if Caitlin Clark came up to you and said she want to do that, I'm gonna fucking say yeah. So like for me, I think this is like realistically most people would probably. I say most women would realistically. Most people in general would do it if they know they could be set for like a paycheck. And they can pretty much give like how do I say, at least they can have a place to stay. They're probably not going to realistically see themselves long term with that person, but yeah, I think that's about 95%.
Yeah, they gonna get the fuck out and take what they can. That's how human beings is. They get what you should.
Yeah, I'm gonna say about 80%, and I agree with Lola. I think probably 75 of them. Like I'm gonna get with them, get this baby. I'm cashing out.
Salute to you, Wandra Watts. Feel free to come up if you want to. And salutes to everybody that's tuning in on IG as well, man. So salutes to Grandma Cynthia, Jasmine, Sir Hell Speaks, Roberto, Nick is the night. Sauce Marley, thank you guys for tuning in. Bruce says she is strong. No, she has a strong brand. She will not participate in what she went. Well, she went on record to denounce. Okay.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she would mess around because she knows she'll get all that smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cam is not like loose with the lips, I mean. They could have a business meeting on the under,
He kind of loose right now.
But let's finish out. I want to see what else she says.
All right. Look at that strong pose. That's a definition of a strong black woman. Look with the finger down and the eyes lit up. Let's go.
She looks Spanish. I'm sorry.
Whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely. That's the.
Why is his legs crossed like that? Never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Oh damn, that was it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I told her Cam was up there comfortable. Cam ain't hear shit. She said Cam was like, look, like Stan said, she about to get on the team.
But see, that's more about
to give a false sense of submission. That's why she was so animated. He playing the game.
Listen, whatever man that is his weight that crosses them thick ass thighs like that, I know your balls is like hard pressed right now. So don't tell me that there's something wrong with me saying that he sit like that. Like, no, okay, he was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm picking at him now. But no,
I'm letting you know that's what he's luring her in. He's, she's again, compare that to the Nick Cannon interview. She's not even looking at Nick eye to eye like she's doing Cam. She's sitting next to him side to side, just being his mama.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a Nick Cannon one.
She did one with Nick Cannon too?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Nick Cannon's a whole different show because Nick Cannon, he's a villain. Like he's doing Lex Luthor relationships. He making like, yeah, I'm your dream guy, and then I make sure that you see the real me. And I'm like, oh,
this sound goofy. It sound goofy. Like,
It's a shame.
now, I don't know Cam. What did he do? What he do?
What's that again?
What does Cam do? Like, what is he known for? I don't know him.
He was a NFL quarterback.
He's a football
for the
player.
Panthers.
Yeah, he played for the Panthers.
Okay. Now, as a celebrity at this point, he don't know that bitches will have babies with you for crack money. He don't know that.
I think he knows. I think he knows. He just wants to do what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just about the money, though. It's about the lifestyle that he provides.
But celebrities like that get the lifestyle literally like on day one, so it's a thing they used to. So for him to come out and act like having as many children as you want as a rich man is something new. Nigga, I could show you shit 2,000 years before the Bible was written. People was doing that. Like it was normal culture.
But that's what I don't get. Because, man, you see, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, man. Like, he ain't having no kids, man. He living life. So I'm with you, Lola. It's like, man, I don't understand why dudes, like, want to have all these kids, man. Like, then have all this, like, chaos on the back end. You know, that's the shit that'll...
But you
I personally never understood it. Like, yeah, I personally never understood it. Like, for me, like, I mean, I get it in the sense that I can't fully speak on it because I'm not in that lifestyle as far as, you know, having like a whole bunch of women that I could just pick, like a whole bunch of women at my pick and litter like a celebrity does, like Cam. But at the same time, like, don't get me wrong, like, if it's a bunch of bitches like I want to fuck, I would want to fuck, but I'm not going to necessarily want to have babies with them all. Like, not every woman is worth having babies with. It just seems so strange to me. Like, and I get it, kind of like sometimes thrill of the moment type shit. You dealing with this girl that you might like, and maybe for one case or another, maybe you slip up. You just decide that you tired of condoms. You want to hit it raw. The first 2 times, sure. The first 8 times, I'm sorry. That's like, this is not really a mistake. This is a pattern.
But could it be, right? I'm looking at pathology, right? Could it be 1, it's ego. 2, it could be an anchor because this person has no family and he's figuring out like, if I make families everywhere, I have a place to stay and then somebody would take care of me.
It's definitely ego driven, for sure.
But you know, the other side, like now look, all of us from the hood, and a lot of these, some men are not rich. I know one guy who got like on number 28 kids, 28, and they're like they're at 35 up in Richmond, California, not Virginia. They got like multiple baby, you know, mamas and like multiple kids, and then people have to let them know who they're related to, because you don't want the kids to be dating each other because they're what we call them hood twins. Or ghetto twins, so they're born the same year, they're in the same school. You know, nobody's telling them like, hey, you know, you related to the Scott's family down the block, and that's your daddy, and that's also your brother over here. And that's your sister next door to you. I mean, like that's something we have just with regular people with no money.
Hey, but you understand if it does happen, I mean, that's pretty much considered keeping it within the family.
But can we acknowledge the fact that the status of a man being able to impregnate women and the effect of the community, right, are 2 separate things, and they have 2 separate imperatives. And then to make matters worse, you're making decisions for other people. Like, for instance, like someone mentioned about Mariah Carey's children versus Nick Cannon's other children. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up with half siblings, and that issue was there. And there was some level of jealousy because of, you know, the father element. And then, you know, who was being treated a certain way and who wasn't. You see what I'm saying? And if any of us had an issue like what he got, where one of his baby mothers is like, listen, I don't fuck with your other baby mothers, their lifestyle, how they is, I don't want them around my kids. Now you got siblings that don't know each other. Who wants to grow up and say, I got siblings that I was barred from knowing because my father couldn't, he couldn't maintain a relationship, let alone keep it in their pants? Because at this point, if in a community, right? I know all of you have been in relationships where it failed. You wanted it to work, but it just didn't work. But you didn't go into it like, fuck this, I'm just going into this to hit it raw, have a baby and get out. Like, that's not what you went into it for. Life happens. But when you purposely say, hey, I'm not even going to try, that is where we have ultimately failed right there. And I just like I get it. Men want to be known as being men who can get women. I get that. But at the same time, men don't like the community they have to operate in as a result of that. Like, the result of what we're dealing with is the reason why taxes are high. It's the reason why welfare is the way it is. Subsidies, legal subsidies is the way it is. It's the reason why unemployment is the reason why. Like, car insurance is affected by it. We don't like the society that we're living in as a result of so many children and people not growing up correctly psychologically. But yet at the same time, men are like, well, yeah, I want to be able to say, yeah, I got a lot of pretty women that I deal with and had kids with, raw, whatever. There's a contradiction there.
No, I agree. Yeah, because it's like you said, we complain about the outcomes, but it's like damn near they walking in. What do people say? Like, man, I hate the whole child support system and all that, but they damn near like handing over their life to the system. Because it's like, man, now you got to deal with that for like 18 years, man, for multiple kids like that. So yeah, it's crazy that they keep doing that shit.
And keep in mind, if a man says, I want to have 10 kids, but he's married to the woman that he's with, right? Nobody can say anything, because as long as you taking care of your kids, that's not a matter of child support, force, nothing. You taking care of your kids how best you can, poor or otherwise. Nobody can say anything. But when you going around purposely saying, hey, I just want to have kids, fuck the relationship, people are looking at you like you stone cold out your mind. Because I can even give credit to deadbeat baby daddies that get with women and it don't work, and they got like 2-3 kids in every relationship and it just don't work. But they're not going into it just so that they can leave a baby. They're going into it hoping that, something come out of it, and they just don't know how to maintain a relationship. That is more honorable than what they was talking about. And I'm not Christian, but I'm appalled that they had the nerve to talk about Jesus in this interview, because last I checked, Jesus said, if your eyes cause you to even look at something that makes you feel lustful, you should gouge your eyes out, cut your hand off, all that. Like, that's how he feel about that shit. And he's talking about he going around fucking off without marriage. Jesus, last time I checked, was about marriage. So I don't understand this contradictory bullshit talking about Jesus. You might as well just leave Jesus out of it. Like, but everybody want the validation of Jesus for some reason.
Shit, I ain't asked for no validation. Look, push comes to shove. Like, if a brother need to get it in, a brother will have to get it in by all means necessary. Okay,
but why we
I'll take it back to the Old Testament if that's the case.
But why are we talking about
good old days?
Why are we talking about Jesus though?
Because let me play again. I think because the Lord is your scapegoat. It is the scapegoat for you guys to run from accountability. You guys misused it and abused his name so many times.
But that's just like the females. They want to run and say the Lord's gonna bless me to get a husband. Meanwhile, they're at the club every Saturday busting it wide open talking about Jesus. Like, that's what the females do, and that's their logic. Why is it that this man thinks he's being masculine, taking the same logic as a female?
Could it be that we are now dissecting the male hyenas finally? The high functioning pookies. The male hyenas. Are we talking about this is not, you know what I'm saying? We're not talking about lions or kings. We're talking about the rich pookies, the functioning pookies.
So Stan, you saying they kind of giving women a taste of their own medicine with the whole God spill, Jesus
No, I
spill?
think this is a whole breed. Because again, if I'm looking at it right, this is no difference from George Foreman. This is no difference from Frankie Nunez, the guy from that the white guy who got 40 kids everywhere, and who's now married to a white woman with their son. He's advertising. I'm like, dude, you got 40 more kids out here, and you're trying to get me to buy stuff from a nonprofit. You are a nonprofit, sir. But
wait, hold on. Let me give a shout out to Sister I Am. Thank you for tuning in. Long time no see. And shout outs to Grey Pill. And in reply to that comment, Jesus was single. Yes, he was single by choice, right? Because the women, especially,
He said by choice.
Yeah, especially in the past and still to this day, are too wicked. So, unfortunately, he haven't found the right one. Sorry, fellas.
Okay.
You know, if
I
he's
I
gonna
mean,
find a
or
woman,
or he
like,
was.
No.
I mean, or he was there just to spread his dad's word, not to procreate.
Y'all got that wrong. Jesus' first miracle was at his own wedding. Okay, stop it. I heard about the conspiracy.
Yeah, he met one chick from Baltimore, and he was like, "Nah, that's enough."
You're like, God, man, I'm too wicked for me.
No, his girlfriend was from, where was she from? The other place. Everybody thought she was a hoe and shit. I don't know. But that's not what that was.
Now, in the Bible, Jesus coming for his bride. So anybody out here that's Christian and single, he's not dating you. There's other Christians he want to date. You need to go date them. You can't date you. He's a full deal to you. He already died for your sins. That's as far as he's going. He needs you to go ahead and date a real one, and transfer all that lust that you had to a real human being and birth some kids. Multiply. That's what he wants.
Yeah,
That's
I need
what
to stop multiplying.
He wants you to multiply.
I bet you if Jesus came back the same age he left, 33, it'd be a whole lot of people lined up to have his baby.
But you see, Jesus ain't gonna do it. That's not what Jesus is about. But Derek Jackson is about that life, so y'all can go ahead and get him.
Oh my God.
goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Allegedly.
That's crazy.
I'm already in the hot seat. I don't need to be more hot seat talking about that nigga. Okay.
Let me get Grey Pill's.
Yeah, let us. I was about to say, what's up with Grey
What's up,
Pill?
Grey Pill?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? You can hear me well? I'm at work.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Nah, you good.
It's an interesting conversation on a lot of perspectives because I watched MTR give his take on it. I felt like he was one clear-spotted on it. That was loud and funny. I saw a few others. I seen the Cam was the one that mentioned God. So he was having a conversation in direction to what he said. So it was a Christian-based channel that actually was reacting to this also. There was a lot of other people that was talking about an actual love therapist talking. TikTok was actually addressing it. It's very interesting. Everybody takes on the situation. I think Cam is like another version because when people have these conversations, you got to listen and the stuff that he's saying. That's one. Two, a lot of spaces you have to compare because I think Derek and somebody else, Stan, had mentioned other people and compare them to. Like once they, Leonardo DiCaprio and all this person, he's a different. But if you compare this guy, same shoes as Fresh and Fit, it's just another guy, a lot of money, a lot of success, a lot of clout, who don't know how to act, know how to behave, does not have the well-balanced mental capability to do what he wants. He got a success, that's great, good for him. Yay, black man. But now he chose to have literal children by the first, out and he ran to another one, literal children for the second one. That didn't work out. Ran to the third, literal children for the third one. That's very damaging. That's very damaging. How do you have so much time as a father to be with your children? You don't, because you're still successful. You're still out there doing your stuff. You can't say, hey, the man's going to raise my kids because technically that's what they're doing. And then when these kids get older and they look at that like, I don't know you. I don't recognize you. I don't know who you are. Yeah, you might put money in my pocket. 50 Cent's a perfect goddamn example. This dude got his mom got the battery stuck in his kid's back, and he going after 50 Cent like he did something wrong. People like, yo, I'm just to be there. Cam Newton. So I think somebody made a comment or something else saying, well, all his kids live with Cam Newton. Yeah, I can get a house too. I can house all y'all motherfuckers on this panel and have them in my house. Doesn't mean I'm raising you. It doesn't mean I'm raising you. It doesn't mean I'm being a. I'm sure people here on the panel. I think 2 brothers up here is married. You know what it takes just the work and conditioning alone to be a husband to your. Now another relationship with your children by yourself, in another relationship with your co-parent, with your wife or your spouse or the mother of your child with your children. He got the kids with his house, but the mother's not even around. So I feel like it's a control issue with the dude. I feel like even the stuff he was saying when she was directing a lot of stuff, and he tried to deflect around it. Oh, it's just a vibe. It's just live. That's Pookie. That's ring dog Pookie mentality right there. I'll leave it.
Now I agree with you on that, Great Pill, because and that's why, you know, it's like always it's about the kids, because like I said, man, me and my wife both working and stuff like that, and one kid, man, we're stretched thin. So when I'm looking at people that got like 8, I'm like, man, I don't know how the hell you want to do it. You can't even really have I think over a certain amount, like when you start getting to 4, you can't even have like a functional, I'll say, relationship with your significant other, man, because you know you're tied up with kids. So I just don't think people like map this stuff out with like the time element it takes with kids. But I like what B-Eazy was saying, where it's just like, you know, when you start having that many kids, man, you're making decisions like, I can't go to your ballet practice, you got football, so you're missing out.
But Jerk, here's the crazy part, right? Nick Cannon, you just said Nick Cannon said that, so there go is egg in his face. He knew that and chose he didn't give a fuck and still did it. That's the crazy part. You knew and you still did it. So between you 2 brothers, I don't know if man stands for Medina the Street, but M3 and yourself, so you knew what it was going to take to say, hey, I want to propose to this woman. You knew was the time and energy and everything going to take a conversation, a well-balanced conversation with your woman about the kid before you chose to have kids.
Yeah.
Pregnancy, the postpartum, late nights with the kids, if they're teething, all this stuff. This motherfucker probably missed that. Nick Cannon said everything like, man, I'm struggling on holidays. I'm struggling. We got like 12 wives, 12 kids now. He's struggling just to try to see them. He's openly admitting this. But you got Cam coming from, well, my kid. How you know that, brother? How you know that?
And also, here's something Lola mentioned, right, Greg?
Yeah, he asked backward, bro. He asked backwards. He talking about 1 minute. He's talking about, oh, God and taking my time. You ain't taking your time skeeting these chicks. You trying to get them pregnant? Hey. You got all this money. And I'll say this, because everybody's making jokes and everything about the blue chips, so I'll be a little bit paying this one. This motherfucker can't talk. Nigga look like a black Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland with them tight-ass tight clothes. Them shit look like Lola ass be wearing it and comfortable in her house. Now leave it there.
Damn. Okay, Greg.
Greg, what you say is true. There's something about Nick Cannon and what Lola point out, right? Mariah Carey is the first. She is married. She married him, and those kids were made in marriage, right? She don't care about the other kids. His kids with Mariah Carey gets first priority. She don't care. They're not. You know what I'm saying? She's not Whitney Houston. She's not gonna try to treat them all for Christmas. No, these are her kids she made with her husband. Now, what he does outside of that relationship, that's on him. That's what I'm saying. Everybody joke, because for him on Christmas, he had to fly here, there, take some photos. I mean, like, you look at his Instagram, it was a joke. Like, he's doing family photos. But Mariah Carey was the first one. So, like, it's true, like, when you're married, that relationship and those kids are treated very differently from the other kids.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It's like again, you know, in American culture, it's kind of like a special bond because you took that time, you made that covenant, you made those religious vows, right? That was highly unnecessary, but you made them anyways, right? In American standard. And now since you have kids by them, as opposed to out of wedlock, it does mean something. It's almost like a badge of honor, for a man, especially like, in his caliber that has a lack of integrity as it is, to even make that commitment. It is more serious as opposed to the other hoes or whatever that you just keep all around, and now you just having a bunch of like, well, of course, legendary AR will probably call them bastard babies, but I just call them, look, you just got the kids, man, from all these whores that you met, and that's
Call
what it
them
was.
babies. They anchored. They're
Anchor babies.
Anchor babies.
Look, man. You got so many words for it. Look. You skitter around from whole babies, okay? That's what they're called. All right. But Marcus. Salute to my brother.
What's good, Marcus?
What's up, man? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Man, what's up, man? Because I haven't been on the show in a while. No, I'm good, bro. I just think I think Cam Newton's a very interesting character. You know what I'm saying? Because he's one of those guys that he had fame and he had the fortune when he was in the league, he was in college and stuff, and NFL. And I think after he got out, or after no team wanted to sign him because he still was trying to get back on a team. But I think it's interesting how like social media kind of sparked his career a little bit more again, and these conversations of the Nick Cannons and the Cam Newtons of the world and stuff like that, which I get it. The celebrity life is a certain lifestyle you live. It's fast paced and stuff like that. But it's just interesting when you give a person money and power and stuff like that, and you kind of see what they become later. And I look at the carousel of it. So am I saying that he's a bad father? No, but I do think that I realize you see how certain characters move and you see how they just act. It just transpires more. And just because you have a whole bunch of kids doesn't mean you're always going to be, for one, there. But for two, like, what's the message you're trying to do? Like, what are you trying to build? Like, Nick Cannon has, I think, like 10 baby mamas? I think, at least. Or something like that, in that range or something like that. So, and he's so busy with his business.
Hold on, Marcus. It's 12.
Huh?
Marcus, it's 12. It's 12.
It's 12 of them? There you go. Cheer by the dozen. There you go. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really try to take a lot of what celebrities do because we're not living their lifestyle. They're not living our lifestyle. If they once ever did have it, they forgot about where they came from because I think most celebrities do. There's very few celebrities that still kind of stay to their roots. So when I hear them kind of give these kind of messages on these kind of conversations, it's hard for me to take it serious because it's like I'm not living your lifestyle and you haven't been through my shoes yet. So I just take it for what it is, just face value. But I move on and I grow with it. I'm not gonna take it seriously the next day. It's just me. That's it.
I agree with that. I definitely.
I agree with it. I agree with it, but I don't think that we should take the issue to as light as maybe we take him. Like he's one person, just like Nick Cannon, he's one person. But obviously, we're not talking about really like Cam Newton or Nick Cannon. We're talking about an ideology that's basically taking root, that's causing.
I'm talking about both that and the influence that these one individuals have a large audience that follows them, especially young generation.
Yeah, look at those like a rapper called Young NBA, right? How many kids he has? If I remember correctly.
I seen something online about that. I'm not sure, but I seen something, and it was kind of ridiculous too. That's why I was like, oh my god.
So what Greg is saying, like there's people that are following it. You look at Country Wayne, the same thing, right? Because he take care of all the kids and the women. And every woman have a house. If you buy it for one woman, you have to buy it for all. If you buy it for one family, you got to buy it for all. I mean, it doesn't matter your money or you broke or you poor. There are people willing to do this because look at Future. There are women willing to sleep around, want to be baby mama number, 13, 14, 15. So, I think a lot of times we do focus a lot on women, but we don't look at the pathology of the men that do this. That is a whole nother case study. Hint, hint to anybody want to make some money. I mean, that's like we said it here first, so you got to pay us our rights, our donations, and everything else. Like, give us credit, but we have to look at that because
speaking of money,
you know what I'm saying? We got Cash App, we got Venmo, and even PayPal, baby. So pay us. So
you guys take food.
I'll take food stamps. Grocery
ever say
time.
EBT cards? Just mail to me.
I'll take food
No,
stamps.
somebody else made a comment like that somewhere else in public at a store. I was like, "You take food stamps?" I was like, "Oh man."
I'll take food stamps.
But I like one thing
just
Lola
put
said
EBTs
early
in the super
about
chat.
my bad, about the mindset, you know, of the female and stuff. And I think that's what's missed. Like, I think you're kind of hitting on that stand where, you know, that type of female that you putting over your kids, man, you know, the ones that's coming for that money like that don't mind being like the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Man, there's no way in hell, like, not to say like your kids always could come out good, but man, you're putting them at a disadvantage and stuff when you're not a father that's in that household and you're bringing in somebody that's already broken like that.
Yeah.
And these guys just don't realize that. They just, like you said, spitting them out and then hiding behind a legacy and shit. So yeah, it's sad because what was the one, Anton Walker? We just seen so many people that go broke, you know, when they're bleeding out all this money from different angles and stuff like that.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. It kind of sounds like that the only way men generally will come to a consensus on the problem that they are facilitating is if it hits them in their pocket. Because if it's not hitting men in their pocket, they don't really,
Or freedom.
Or freedom. They don't. It might be important, but it's like, you know what I mean. It's not really, but so important. But it's like I see contradictory things happening. I see a movement now that's saying, hey, close your legs, stop having these men's kids, make them marry you, don't decensor men, all of that. And then I see this, and it's like we got these two extreme groups of women that's getting big. The ones where they like, listen, fuck you if you ain't willing to marry me by the 3rd date. And the ones that's like, all I want to do is fuck you so I can go on dates. Nobody in between, but like 3 people. Like this right here is a problem, but men are essentially feeding it because I see so many men that hate women like Brittany Renner and all these other like females that like act the way they act and go for men with money and have these kids and be ratchet. But at the same time, when you entertain them, and you niggas know when they entertain them ratchet, when you entertain them on any level, you are legitimizing their ratchetness and you are legitimizing them over, let's say, better women. So now you have a competition between women where women are like, well, we want men too. We want to have access to men too. So how do we get them? Oh, let's do the ratchet thing. But then you have a small group of women that's like, I don't care about what it takes to get these men. I'm going to maintain frame, even if I don't ever get a man. That's a very small group of women. And now men are waking up saying, where's all the good women? They're all gone. Ain't no good women. Join MGTOW. Save yourself, black man. It's because they've spent too many years, and I mean that literally, too many years legitimizing ratchet bitches that now you can't find a regular bitch. Like, it's hard as hell. And I'm saying, if you don't like these ratchet bitches, stop legitimizing them. But people don't want to because, like in Cam Newton's case, I got money.
I'm going to speak up for the ratchet, right?
Speak up for ratchet.
Mary's
So,
go.
go.
McDonald's spokesperson. The McDonald's spokesperson.
I'm going to speak up for the ratchet ones, right? Because here's something, right? She might be a ratchet person in the streets, but when she was in another side to a softer side. Speaking from, I'm from an ex-simp. I'm just letting you know how that goes. Because if you're a good guy, you don't date good girls. You date monsters and demons. That's what you date. That's if you're a good man, the good girl, forget that. That's why I gotta pray. I'm like, God, what kind of demon you gonna give me today to date? And just go for it. It's gonna be a vampire. Let's go. Just bring your little case of like holy water, oil, Pentecostal oil, and some
garlic.
Garlic,
your cross and holy water.
Yeah, a lot of times that person that you deem to be ratchet is not really ratchet. That person's a hurt person. You care about them. You see them. You don't see them as not, and for some guys, and that's what happens. And sometimes you come from the hood. That might be the prize. The prize, not the price.
No. Stan, listen, I'm hood. Everybody that know me know I'm hood. I'm from West Side. Okay.
Really? Really?
But I'm not ratchet. There's a big difference between a hood chick and a ratchet chick. That girl, what's her name? Love Dorsey. She hood. She is hood, but she ain't ratchet.
I thought you was from Canada.
Like,
wait, can you explain that real quick? Can you break that down?
That's what you see the softer side. You smitten.
Lola says the West Side. She over there with Stringer Bell and Marksdale and shit.
I was like gonna say like ratchet, but can you be ratchet and not from the hood?
Yes, you can, Marcus. Let me come to I hear the last part. I think Stan said it. I want to add to that. When both parties said there is no good women, it says there's no good men. I think they're living in their own bubble. I think a lot of people don't want to take the time in or the time out to like explore that. Like, again, what is your intentions? If you're single, no kids, and you looking for the street, understand what that's going to come with. If you're like, hey, single, no kids, and you're actively looking, take action tools and steps to look for somebody if that's what you're wanting. If you want, okay, there's places, locations you can go. Outside sources that people can have conversations and say where to go. Now, if you have a child or two, and you're like, oh man, there's no good man. Well, there maybe was some good man when you had the kids from that guy. If it just turned out it went left, okay, fine. That's how life works. And you're still looking, again, keep looking. But again, understanding your intent, I would suggest some kind of counseling, I would suggest some kind of therapy, because at the end of the day, if you keep screaming, oh, it's not no good man, oh, it's not no good women, and 9 10 times, it's you. You're the problem. I can't speak for Stan. Clearly, we got the streets like that. I do for hold on. Let me keep going. I know for a fact I am in the streets like that. I can both ways. I can find me a good girl. I can find me a ratchet chick. I can find me a hoe. I can find me a gangster bitch. Okay, but it depends on where I want to stick with. So my intent is like, hey, I want a good.
Can you show me?
I know where they are.
Oh, wait! Question. Great Pill. I didn't get what you wrote in the comments. You said the troll game. What troll game?
Man, no, you ain't slim. We know that you're in the comment. Let's get to the conversation. Oh,
no, that's not me, bro. Do not associate me with anything that is like analytical Christian or Christian period. That's not me.
Okay, you highlight it. When you highlight it, as long as I've been in this weird YouTube game of people trying to troll, trust me, I had large content creators like call me the fuck out. Trust me, believe that little avatar who just recently made their account in February is not gonna faze me, bro. We gotta come a little bit bigger than that. I'd rather have somebody like Raw B call me the fuck out. That might get my fucking interest. I'd rather have Andrew call me the fuck out, which he has. That might.
I'm sensing a lot of trauma right now. Is this
I have Carl Davis call me time. Trust and believe. I never gave her that time of day except for she needed it. So a little avatar who just made an account is not gonna give me that. So I'd rather keep it on conversation. So like I said, weak.
I think I have to be Great Pill's spokesperson attorney. He's a survivor, so at this moment he's emotionally distressed. Please give him some grace, please.
But hold on, I got a question for Stan. So Stan, based on the comments you was making, because you said this is coming from a simp perspective, would you say Cam is a simp? Cam and Nick Cannon?
No, I said those are hyenas. Those they're not simps. Those are male hyenas. That's not. That's not
right. Okay, so can someone explain to me, Stan? Can you explain why you believe that they are the quote unquote hyena?
They just proved it. You having kids.
The same women they're the same version. They just they're dudes.
Yeah,
that's dudes.
Mm-hmm. Right. But do Nick Cannon and Cam Newton share the same personality?
When they don't have that many children and you don't care about the women,
Sorry, I had like two voices talking. What?
My bad.
Go ahead, Gray.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gray. Go
No,
ahead.
I was great.
Oh, now he don't want to say nothing. Now he don't want to say nothing.
I'm at first. I apologize. I don't know if I said it before. I'm at work, but no, I agree with Stan. They don't have the same personality, but they have the same. I got the money. Let me do what I want. Let me control and dictate the outcome of every woman, which is it screams a lot for that type of person. So it's weird, bro. It's just weird. Like Jerk gave a perfect example of the opposite side. Hey, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. I know I want to be single. I know I want to date. I want to be the billion boy bachelor. So I'll just say the billion boy bachelor. Why would I stretch more time with myself? Kids, my baby mother. That's stupid. I'm single, no kids, because it's by choice. I'm not sitting there going out my way to like, well, I think you know what's crazy part. I think their excuses, Stan, is like, well, at least they pay for their kids. That don't mean shit. A lot of people can pay for their kids. How many famous people that psychos and killers eat their kids, and they got two parents, or their parents is millionaires? I just watched a documentary. This girl, like, her parents are giving her the world. This girl, like, oh, I gotta get AIDS. Okay, let me go ahead and set up a shooting and get my boyfriend friend to take out mom and dad. But the dad lived. You know?
There are.
Yeah, Marcus, to answer your question, I would say they do got the same personality. So I think if you're a guy, man, and you're willing to risk like everything you built up, because think about it, man, you know Cam Newton had to put in all that work, you know, his body, mind, reading the plays, you know, discipline on that element, and to sacrifice that, you know, to put babies on women that you know that might not be shit. You know, man, you got to kind of be like low value mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I think they do got the same personality, because it's almost like they done put all that work in building that kingdom, you know, putting themselves in the 1%. And you're willing to throw that away and put yourself in a system like Lola was even talking about. It's like now you got to deal with that whole shit, because in the articles that we put in the back in the private chat, you know, Cam for the past like 2 years for the one woman that he has the 4 or 5 kids with, lawsuits back and forth. So it's like now you know, it's just unnecessary shit that you could avoid it, like Gray Pill is saying. So I think they do have similar mindsets.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Could it be that you can take Pookie out the hood and give him $1 million, but you can't take the Pookie out of his ass?
Thank you.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'd be saying like, well, I'd be saying I think it's funny though, because I always hear like, you know, people say that, and I can never really get behind it either, when guys are just so easily willing to sabotage their livelihood just for the sake of, you know, like pussy. And I mean like, and I mean it from a perspective of like, in a way I understand it in a way, because maybe they didn't have this much attention as a kid or growing up. I know, like me personally speaking on it, like I've had like problems with self-esteem growing up. My thing is, I just don't fully understand like why you would go out to just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, procreate with this many people that I know I can't realistically afford. Like for me, like looking at it from perspective, like I'm actually in the gym every single day working on my craft, like the guy just brought up, like that can just easily come crashing down within a matter of years if I'm not careful. Like a woman wants to just take it all and decide that I don't want to be with you. I just want your cash. So, and I don't be understanding it either, because I be hearing a lot of women be saying stuff like, what, like a lot of y'all men don't make enough money to be worried about what your woman gonna take in divorce. But I'm like, yeah, but even then, the fact that it's still taken away from you, something that you built up, like, okay, if I worked my entire life at a warehouse, right? Let's just say I realistically only made like $50K a year. It's still the work I put in. Like, I mean, it shouldn't matter that you ain't getting no $100,000 marriage settlement. It's still the money I put in. I'm gonna have pride in the fact that I made $50K.
How did we get here? I thought it was like Cam Newton.
What is it?
You coming in kind of low, Gray Pill.
I think Gray Pill's in the bunker. Is he in a bunker?
Yeah, it's a government building.
He said he was at work.
He in a government building. That's what he
in a safe or a vault.
in a vault.
Every month, you the only one got ears. Thank you, Anthony.
No problem. I'll be listening.
Dollar General Wi-Fi.
But I think Great Pills are accounting though, so if that's the case.
Oh, he counts.
So he actually is in a vault. Oh,
I'm counting on him to get better service.
but something right there. This for everybody. There's a reason why a lot of these men move to Texas or general, because Texas has a cap on child support. And then I think earlier this year, one of Nick baby mama.
You break it up a little bit, Stan.
Oh, one of the baby mamas, like she doesn't like she's not making money, like she's not having a lot of money to support her and her child because Texas has a cap on child support. Doesn't matter how much.
Thank God for a state like Texas.
Yeah, thank God.
Well, what is the cap though? Like 7,000 or something?
No, I think it's like $1,000 or something like that a month. And also,
what?
It can't be no grand.
That can't be.
Look it up. Like she's not. Again, this is why Mariah Carey wants nothing to do with this because they can't come for her salary. They're divorced. So Nick purposely done this to be in Texas. And you look at Chris Brown, purposely moved to Texas because he's not going to pay all that child support. That's why there's this big move of leaving California, go someplace else like Texas that has a stricter law of like child support. So I just want people to look at the long game of it because when you see men that doing this, they're staying at some place that could like, you know what I'm saying, facilitate this. So that's one. And two, Great Pill, my nation song when I leave and go out into the world is I just want a project chick. Give me a hood.
I was actually going to touch on that part, but hold on, Stan. I gotta pause you guys real quick because someone is actually contesting this. So, Sister I.M. says that there is no cap on child support, but then also plus there's no abortion rights either.
No, there's a child support for Texas. There's a cap.
There's a cap in Texas. I looked it up, but it's 9,200
per month.
9,200.
Yeah, per month. So that's the cap.
Per child, right? Or overall?
Yeah.
Probably per household.
So if you have more children, it decreases. So like it's look, if we get a Republican in the office for the next 4 years, y'all better help him get married.
Many men.
Put that man.
I was getting ready to say, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about Department of Child Support if you're living your life correctly. However, the Department of Child Support might have a cap, but the courts don't have no cap. The courts are higher than the president's office. The courts can say 100% of your income is your child support, and ain't nothing anybody can say. If a higher court don't disagree, ain't nothing anybody can say. But Department of Child Support can't go over, like you said, 9,000 per household or 27% of your income for each child here in Maryland. But the courts, they can do what the fuck they want to do. But see, you have to be married to be in the courts. To say, hey, I want child support for my children. You have to be married. You can't just go up there, don't have no marriage, nothing. Tell me something you want child support. Because the first thing they're gonna do is put you in mediation and say, why should he be paying child support? Da 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 da. No, but if you go through Department of Child Support enforcement, that they got all sorts of caps over there. But at the end of the day, who want to be paying that when you could just do the right thing?
Hold on. There's another thing I'm going to add too.
Don't have the courts involved.
Who also wants to pay for another woman's kid as well too, especially when you're in the stepdaddy pursuit.
Charity fraud is an issue too.
That part too, right? Or even worse, and I think more so in California, if you are dating that person and that person is a single mother, especially with multiple kids, and you date courtship with her maybe at a certain period of time, maybe for a couple of months or maybe a year or two, and she has proof that you guys were in an intimate relationship and you was providing for her kids, that woman legally has the right to pretty much make you the sole responsible.
Put you on the hook.
Well,
Basically, put you on the hook.
She could Captain Hook you. In other words, and you have no choice but to turn yourself in and pay for the child support, and you're not even married to that person. But because you decide to be in a committed dating relationship with that person, now you have to suffer.
Suffer.
I've never heard of that one. I didn't even know that was a thing.
That is a new thing to me.
It's true. At least in California law here in family law in California, because it's ranked the worst state to get divorced in. Like for example, go ahead, no.
What do you mean suffering if that's your child? What do you mean?
You're basically making the father slave himself even more to death just to make sure that the woman can have enough after she divorced him.
Right. So basically the biological dad is just like getting away scot-free, just ski-skiing all around. But meanwhile,
not the ski-skiing.
Y'all can't have it both ways. Y'all can't have it both ways now. You can't say.
What are you talking about? Can't have it both ways.
You can't say that people.
Well, it is 2024. You can't go both ways.
You can't say people
looking ass.
Thank you. Take care of children is suffering. Thank you, Sister Ariana. You're right.
Say that. What I'm saying is you can't say.
I completely identify as a woman now, so I can't be liable for child support.
You can. But trust me, I've worked in sports. You can't. Here's the thing: you can't have it both ways, right? Because right now, everybody knows when you sign a birth certificate, you're telling the state this is my biological child. And if that is the case, and they say, well, now that you guys are not together and you can't obviously agree on who's going to take care of the child, now we're going to sit and say, this is your child because you said it was your child. If you don't want a DNA test and you go and sign that affidavit, i.e. that birth certificate, like you knew what you was getting into. So that there is no such thing as you're on the hook for something now. No, you're not. You've been on the hook. What are you talking about? You put yourself on the hook.
How is that the same as a guy dating a single mother and being liable for the finances of the girl and her kids?
First of all, I need to know what state you were talking about where a non-parent, meaning a non-custodial parent that don't have custody, is also being told they have to pay child support, and it's not even under a marriage contract. I need to know what state is doing that, because again, the courts can do what they want to do, but under what law code is that precedent being made? Like under what law code? Because the one I know about in Maryland is pretty harsh out here. I need to know.
Well, I didn't say child support. The guy was referring to the fact that in Cali, you could be financially responsible for women that you have dated and financially provided for if she has kids, not yours, but like from somebody else. Which is, in my opinion, that's just like, that's
the scenario. Foul. Just to explain it better, if you're already with somebody that has different kids that from somebody else, and that person is living with them, and the father has been maintaining them, or I'm sorry, the male has been maintaining them, that person can be on the hook for somebody else's kids.
You're saying that the courts are enforcing that, or Department of Child Support?
Lola, did you miss the point that
both?
Help.
Yeah, both, because the family law that can happen because of the fact that under domestic partnership, it could be a certain amount of years that the mother with her kids has been living with the man, and he's been the one who's been the provider. And then she can also take it and say, hey, well, under marriage or whatever it is, you can technically put him on the hook for kids that technically aren't hers, but because he was maintaining them, providing food, shelter, substance, etc. They can do that. It's common house law.
A little bit more, right, to make it simplistic and then yet complex at the same time, right? Common house laws. Thank you, Great Pill, right? So it's like common law marriage, but you're not really married, but because you stay with that person for a long period of time. Yeah, you have to pay child support, right, to fund this woman's kid because you are now taking the role as the new dad. However, right, it goes in two ways. There have been some cases where, and unfortunately, you have stupid men that actually pay for the kids' like birth certificate to be.
I call this Miss Andrew, by the way.
Miss Andrew. Either way, the guy right pretty much paid, like, sign the kid's like birth certificate, wherever the kid was adopted, wherever he says like, you know what, I'm gonna take the role of the dad, it will just fall on me. Or you don't even have to sign. If you could just prove that you've been taking care of the responsibilities more often than the biological dad, it is over for you. What's my game over sound effects?
I don't think the common law covers that. I think it's just the marriage part, but I don't think it covers the child support like Lola was saying. I think only if you sign the birth certificate, then you'll have those issues. I think like if you're in a common law state and you're married, then you probably have to do like the alimony portion or, keep up the standard of living for, since y'all were married and stuff. But it's only like Colorado, District of Columbia, Iowa, Kansas, Montana, New Hampshire, Texas, Utah, and District of Columbia that has like common laws. So yeah, I don't think it covers child support or anything like that.
No, but in California, they talk about this common house law, and then also in California, we don't have alimony, but we do have palimony. So they find different ways. Like Lola says, the court will be creative and find different ways of getting the money or getting access. So palimony is similar to alimony, but there's a time limit to it, and you do have to pay for the woman. There's like a monthly allowance or something that could go up for a couple of years or a couple of months.
Yeah.
But
especially if you already have like mail, like you guys are sharing the same mailing address, you guys are already having property in your house under your name there, then the assets also get divided. It's a dividend of it. So just imagine now guys are picking up on the game of putting everything they've owned or assets under their name to put it into their parents. So for example, if Stan wants to have a serious relationship, but before he gets with her and gets involved in marriage and engaged, he'll put whatever he owns, his assets, whatever under his name, to his mother. That way, in case of this happens later and they get divorced and she's supposed to take it, well, technically, no, it was under his mother's name before they got married, before they signed. That way, it avoids all that, issue of it. It happened recently with a footballer, a soccer player. The woman found out he was a really wealthy guy. She already knew he was already a professional athlete, so she already knew, but she was trying to, he got like a fat couple $100 million contract. So she, as soon as she saw that, ka-ching, she tried to divorce it, but she didn't know that the famous footballer put everything he owned under his name before they got married in his mother's name.
My man was
she couldn't get anything, and she ended up paying him.
Or another alternative, you can follow the 50 Cent route and just file for bankruptcy.
You could do that too.
Because I heard that worked one time.
But however, with that, there's more of a there's a paper. There's more like a lot of filing, a lot of paperwork for that too, though. And then to have to build it up again, clearly you kind of have to start over. But they are in a different level, a different tax bracket, so they're able to.
You're right. Yeah, I think realistically, you got to be careful, like when you decide to have kids. Like, in my opinion, I don't see marriage as viable. That's just me. There's just too much involved, too much risk. In my opinion, don't have kids unless you are fully prepared to bring them into your house and have full custody of them. Because it's just not viable for the people that are not trying to do that.
Right. Real quick, SJ, let me know if you're ready to close out.
Yeah, we go a little bit longer.
Okay, for sure. I just want to make sure. Okay. Somebody said in the comments, I think it was okay, I think Sister Ion, but I feel like she wrote a comment before then. That's the comment I was looking for. She says women need to hear and understand that men do not see your children as his. You know what? You are damn right. Where's my yes sound effects at? There we go. Your kid is not my kid. And when we break up, it is not my worry. And then she says also...
can't you also say women to kind of see that as the same thing? Because I'm pretty sure one of the biggest complaints...
I want to, but I feel like because women...
You gonna pull Lola up? She in the back.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lola. I swear I didn't see her, right?
But,
misogyny.
Y'all out there talking, and y'all knew I was about to ask y'all something about that common law thing, because I hear what you're saying now. Now that I've kind of like asked you guys the question, but here's the thing: that common law marriage, you got to look at the history of common law marriage and understand that it works both ways in terms of value system. Under common law, right? There's certain things that people within that situation are, they have rights to, right? And when you add children into it, now the laws in 2024 got to reconcile with the laws in 1824. So at the end of the day, yeah, you might get a scenario like what you described as a man having no children with a woman, not being married to a woman, but he's liable for taking care of her under what seems like marriage laws and child support laws, but really it's not. That's what that is. But I'm not saying it's a rare occurrence, but it can happen vice versa for a male. Like he's in a common law marriage, he break up with a chick, he take her to court because he say if when she left, he lost his job because of his, I don't know, he worked from home and she was paying the rent. So now she need to pay him because they was in a common law marriage and they were together for, I don't know, 7 or 8 or whatever amount of years you have to qualify for. It works both ways. But that's not a child support issue. That's a regulation issue, to be honest.
That's a core issue too.
I agree with you. That's why. Yeah, I think it's more or less like you said. Keep up the standard of living type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean that has happened. A few of the guys have won that. I've heard of cases like that. It's just there were a few in between is a thing.
Which is dumb because you don't have to keep up with a certain way of living. Just get when you can, just get yourself a job. It should be. Yeah.
Again, you're talking common sense to people that may not have common sense and a bit of fucking practicality. But you know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't gonna want to get off their ass if you know they're gonna get a free check.
But a job,
of course, yeah.
For broke. That's what it's for. They'll be over broke. Why I gotta work when you was paying for everything?
Mm-hmm.
But people want them kind of women. They want them starter wives that don't work, that don't do shit for 10, 20 years. They want them kind of women. So when it don't work out, they gotta pay 100% of her worth.
Listen, if I run into an ex-basketball wife and she's got millions, I am not complaining. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I am not complaining
either. Yeah, but that's
Marcus,
only
gonna take that bread when it's over.
Listen, if she acts a fool, I just might. But if she's keeping me comfortable, I may not.
But now Lola got a point because a lot of people be out here. I think there's only a few guys that be like, "Nah, I want her to work. We gonna build together." But most guys be like, "Oh, I want her to stay at home." I'm like, "Y'all crazy as hell."
Yeah, I don't be.
you got pay. You can't complain if you want that.
Yeah, because I'll be like, if it's like you just had the baby and maybe we got like a few kids and you just need to stay at home for like a few years or something like that, I'll hold it down. Like, but we ain't doing that for like. You know, like until those kids turn like 16 and then you would start to get a job. Like what? Like nah.
You heard that, Shawnee O'Neal and Evelyn Lozada? I'm over here.
Marcus said he got to cash out, huh? You're gonna be like Kevin Federline out here.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Federline.
Look, guys, like, don't forget to donate to the channel, okay? Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. You can see it all above us. So, we're not monetized on YouTube, so definitely please help donate. It definitely will help keep us going. So, and thank you, sister.
So what you got to do to get monetized on YouTube now?
We were just ourselves. Look, you know how you women will always tell us to be ourselves, right? So one day I decided to be myself. And YouTube demonetized my ass.
Hey, Mr. Haitian says, shoot, even if he was a billionaire, he said, you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to get a job. You're going to do some type of work.
But, no, y'all want housewives. Don't say that. Y'all want housewives. Stop playing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
No. I think
as long as she can cook a sandwich.
Translation, go to work. That's all right.
Yeah, she's going to work around these parts.
Yeah. But but seriously, to answer your question, we got demonetized because YouTube's automated bot said that we was reusing content, which was our own content, and I don't know. I can't fight against myself.
Did you trademark your own brand, by the way?
Yeah.
I think he was multi-streaming, the like multi
channels and
stuff, yeah.
So they can't tell which one was the real M3. It could have been the M3 that was on the Intellectual Soul Box.
Talking about M4?
The M5 or whatever on M3 TV network. They're just like, which one of you motherfuckers is the real M3? I'm like,
you got when you got demonetized for talking about yourself.
About your own shit.
yeah, for standing my own truth and being myself and
practicing self-love.
But you know what you just proved right now?
But
you know what you just said right now? You can't even talk about yourself, man.
Oh shit, bro. That's definitely demonetized. Well, I forgot we ain't monetized anyway.
That's emotional damage right there, all in one.
Exactly, right? But yeah. I think what happened was like because YouTube did send me an email on M3TV Network because they couldn't really tell if that was really me. And of course I had to verify myself. But go figure. I guess it's like, okay, well, shit. Well, okay, he verified himself, but still not convincing enough, though, because he's on knowledge relationships as well, too.
M3 had an ID out to the camera saying, this is me right here.
Oh, shoot.
But I got a quick question for y'all before we wrap it up. So who would y'all say is like worse out of Future, Nick Cannon, and Cam Newton?
Well,
I think Future's one of them.
Yeah, Future don't give a fuck, man. You know,
because Future contradicts himself in his lyrics. Because like chase the check, don't chase the chick, and then something about leaving the chicks back or whatever at home or whatever. And then he goes and he likes to spoil women and plays like $1 million a bag. And remember, he did an interview with like I think was it Kevin Samuels or Cam Newton or somebody. I think Kevin Samuels was asking him, how much do you spend on women? He's like, oh yeah, I love spending all my money on them. I spend like $1 million per. Or like he's like 1,000? He's like, no, 1 million. So it's like,
so you'll put Future, then rank the 3.
Definitely Future's past up top, and then I'll probably put Cam Newton up there, and then maybe Nick Cannon.
Okay. Lola.
So nobody gonna put Donald Trump up there?
Nope.
So Lola, out of those 3, though, rank them though.
Wait, I'm just saying, nobody gonna talk about Donald Trump and his baby mama issue. No.
Nah, we'll keep that for another stream. That's good.
Yeah, we gonna do that one. But out of Future, Nick Cannon, and Cam, who's the worst out of that?
I think I would say Future, because at least with Cam Newton, he's trying to hang his hat on the fact that he has his children and he's in their life. And at least with Nick Cannon, he makes an effort. You see what I'm saying? I've seen situations with Future and that boy that he got by Sierra, and I'm be like, yo, you not trying to see your own son? The stepfather got to say, you know what, fuck you, nigga. If you don't want to come be his father, I'll be his father. Like he even told him, listen, you don't have to pay our child support. We're not going to keep begging you for child support. I can take care of the child. Trust me, I think Future is the worst one.
Okay, that's a good point. What about you, Stan?
I'm going to say Nick Cannon for number 1.
Oh my God.
Future,
Hater.
I mean, he's basic. He's a basic Pookie. That's why he gets number 3. He's an everyday Pookie. Cam is number 2. Because Future is just an everyday Pookie. Because look, young NBA, I am single. She mentioned young NBA said that he don't even take care of none of his kids. That's the mother of his children. That's what Future does. That's a basic everyday hood Pookie.
Okay, that's it.
What about you, M3?
What was the question again? Oh, it's talking about like Future, right?
Yeah.
Future, Nick Cannon, or Cam? If you had to rank them, who's the worst?
I said Future though. Like Future is like, yeah, he's like the worst scum on the earth, man. He's like the ultimate of all the deadbeat dads, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do not condone this message.
I don't know. I never really heard like anything about like Future like ever spending time like with any of his kids like that. It's just he's just like a sperm.
Never.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with Stan on this though, because I feel like Future, you already know that from the jump. You know, I think he don't misrepresent himself. He ain't putting it out there like, hey man, I'm gonna be a good father. So I think that cat, you know, you should know that walking in. I'll say Nick Cannon's the worst. because he be doing all them baby photo shoots with the what's that head, with that hat he be wearing,
the turban.
Like he's Gandhi and stuff. Yeah, he got the turban on and shit.
And even his.
Let me see if I can find a picture.
Because it's like, it's not about canceling. It's about caring, or it's communication. It's something about like bridging the communities together instead of counseling people. Like cancel them, like don't cancel them. And I'm just like, dude, like you purposely recruiting women, getting them pregnant. They're crying because there's no help with this baby. It's a newborn, and you're traveling doing this show, that show, next show. Got everything underneath the truss. And Mariah Carey got you, you know, in the palm of her hands because you're not going to treat Mariah Carey like you treat them other kids. So, yeah, Nick Cannon is, woo.
But I heard that the reason why he's doing the things that he's doing because he had lupus or something, and so he felt like he was gonna. Well, at that time, like he should have been. Well, let me make sure I rephrase my word because it's YouTube, right? But he thought that he was gonna move on with his ancestors a long time ago. So that's why he did it and still keep doing it.
And so he makes more kids, so he can meet the ancestors.
Well, this goes back to like the conversation about this so-called legacy crap. You're not about to build like a legacy with like, you know, untalented children anyway. Just because you was a talented person doesn't mean your kids are going to inherit that. Again, i.e., as I wrote in chat, Michael versus Marcus Jordan. One is an actual legend, and his name will be forever. Forever remembered, especially like the Jordans that people wear. But Marcus, that nigga a bum.
Don't talk about me, bro.
I mean, the only thing he gonna go out is what, like dating, like, you know, like some basketball players, like ex-wife.
Yeah, he pretty much.
And there goes your monetization.
But again, I'm going to say this for anybody that can make it into money and into books. Looking at the pathology of these men will be an interesting read and give us some insights, because I think there's something going on psychologically with all these men to do this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is some self-esteem, and yeah, something got to be wrong up there, man. It's like being territorial too. Oh, go ahead, Lola.
Something is wrong, but as women, we're gonna have to make it a new. And I think it's becoming a culture that if you're the type of female that your baby, your husband, or your boyfriend, or whatever the case may be, got hella kids and yours is the youngest and shit, you can't talk about relationships. You can't talk about nothing. You ain't nobody's wife, and never will you be. Your husband is always gonna be a bicycle. Okay. Seriously. Like if you number 8, like get the fuck out of my face. I'll take number 2 or 3, but not number 4, 5, 6, and above. No. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
wait, talking about baby mama number 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like all of my children, my child is their first child, and they only got 1 or 2. But it's like
basically, Lola wants to be up on the depth chart.
That's what I'm saying. If you ain't up on number 1 or 2. Number 3, you doing you that's it. If you wife at number 3, you made it. But if you wife at number 4, bitch, don't talk about you married with your bicycle ass husband. Like, just leave that shit alone. We gonna have to make it like that. You can't come on these panels no more and be like, yeah, I mean, I'm happily married. No, you not, bitch. You number 5. No,
you were never a number 3.
You were never a number 3 even, or 2, or better yet, 1. You were never that. Shut the fuck up. But sorry.
Yeah, but you at that bar.
I'm kind of clowning, but at the end of the day, you can't sit and basically be the type of female that just go for dudes for their money so you can get pregnant and think that you're somebody's goal. You're not anyone's goal. Okay, I don't care. You're no one's goal. I'm not saying having children before you get married is an issue, no matter how many children you have. But if that's your mojo, you just a ratchet. And men need to stop fucking with women like that. And when I say stop fucking with women like that, I mean that quite literally. Stop fucking these women, because that's how kids get here. Like, I get it. You want to fuck something good. Stop it. Because you guys don't know how to put a fucking condom on. Find a bitch that you want to be enslaved.
Hit me up.
And
Hit me up.
Wait, okay. Let me say this though, right? Because I meant to say this like, a couple of like hours ago into the stream, but I'm gonna say this now. See, this kind of goes back to like Stan's comment to like why like he prefers like to like date hoes as opposed to like wholesome women. You know? Hold on. Let me get to the point, right?
The shout out to the bus that L3 threw Stan under.
Yeah, this is definitely getting deplatformed, by the way.
But look, you gotta understand, right? Because see, all right, the wholesome women, right? The one that's supposed to be like, pure, clean, and love the Lord, right? Unfortunately, those are the ones that's not really willing to yield. See, we get the misconception of thinking like these women are going to be submissive as opposed to being loving, fun, enjoyable. But a lot of them is like, I can't do this, I can't do that, don't do this, don't do that. They're more controlling than the 3 or 4s. At least like, with a little bit of like, money or just a little bit of whatever, right? They're down to like pretty much DF. You know what I mean? If you know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, DTF. Anyway,
and also the wholesome girls belong to the demon men, so that's what they belong to.
Wait, hold on. Are you high, sir? Are you high right now?
I promised my viewers I was about to go in on something crazy. Okay.
What's in your cup?
Nothing. I'm not even drinking yet.
Not enough.
You literally sat here and say wholesome women are not to be married because they wholesome.
Yeah, well, hold on. Did I say that wholesome women are not to be married? I did not say that. I said wholesome women, right? They're not more enjoyable to be around with. I didn't say they're not material.
He's basically calling good women boring.
So M3, you saying hoes are fun. That's pretty much what you saying. They're like
Absolutely.
enjoyable. They bring a certain level of peace and serenity.
If I tell a hoe right now, right, to lay in my bedroom and get butt naked, she will do that. She'll do backflips like an acrobat or whatever.
Can I interject real quick?
So what is the wholesome girl gonna do?
Mental health is a serious thing. So people get out there and reach help, please, because trauma. Just coming from a guy right now. Wow, I'm getting a lot of flashbacks. So please get some mental health, please.
What is a wholesome girl gonna do if you say get in the bed? Now, mind you, why you need to sit and boss people around, first of all? But what is a wholesome woman supposed to do?
You going too far about bossing. I'm just saying if I'm just speaking into existence, the whole right will actually do it.
Are you manifesting? Are you manifesting now?
But with a wholesome woman, you cannot manifest anything. You know what her reply is? She's gonna take it to church. That's what she's gonna do, and she's gonna say, "You need Jesus, my brother." And then she's gonna be like,
"No, see, you do need Jesus, okay? You need Jesus and his brother. You need both." And the reason why you need Jesus is because that's her bedroom too, first of all. Now, if you're gonna sit and dictate to her when she's supposed to be in her bedroom, you definitely need Jesus. Because do you think Jesus would tell
well,
her?
first of all, she's in my house though, right? So I dictate what the hell I want to dictate.
Hold on. Would Jesus dictate to somebody to get in a bedroom, or would he?
But Jesus is not in my bedroom right now. So
no, you know what I'm talking about.
Sound like Leonidas right now.
You're not copying the ways and deeds of Jesus. That's definitely not what you're doing. You're not loving her. That ain't what you're doing by saying get in that bedroom. What?
I mean, I could love on a wholesome woman, of course, absolutely.
And first of all, the hoe is gonna get in the bedroom because she getting something out of you because she got her real man on the text on the telly. Okay.
That's why there's a hoe and wholesome.
But then hoes don't need any love. They don't need no love from me.
That's why there's a hoe and wholesome.
You don't want to love your wife.
Say again.
You don't want to love your wife.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about the whole
right.
right now.
So if your wife is a woman that just wants you to be fair with her, that's not her taking you to Jesus church, okay? Because she said, "Don't be bossing me around. Sometimes getting out of head around."
Yeah, but see, you're mixing again, as I said before. You're mixing the hoes as opposed to the wholesomes.
Hoes are not fun.
But didn't you just say? But didn't you say a wholesome wife now wasn't as exciting as a
That's what you
It's a certified street stroller.
Yeah, of course. I'm saying as an example. Lola, don't try to twist any of these words
No, I
around,
ain't
right?
trying to switch it. You said that they more fun, so I'm trying to figure out where's the fun because it sounds like you don't even like that bitch.
Hold on, here's a good question. Let me. Is the fun temporary?
They massage your feet.
Is that what we're looking at? Temporary fun or
Well, we know
long
it's gonna be
term?
we know dealing with hosts is not going to be long term. So again, I am speaking right from a egotistical, right, rich, famous, whatever man's perspective, right? Since we're going there with this type of topic, right? So most men, they're not going to see that thing is the problem is we're not going to tell you guys the truth because we know you guys can really handle the truth, right? That's why you guys here on Knowledge.
Who is y'all guys? Who's y'all guys?
You guys, right? That's like me saying you people, right?
The jerk is a child
Saying
of God.
Saying it twice doesn't make sense anymore.
Anyways, right? This is why you guys are here in Knowledge Relationships because see, we actually speak the truth of what other men talk about and what other men are not going to really be bold enough to tell you. But in reality, right? Most men, the reason why they go out there and they choose the hoes as opposed to wholesome people, right, is because of their experience of not really having a pleasurable time with the wholesome person, right? Because usually the wholesome person, right, even though they got a little freak in them too, but they're more self-contained. They're not really their natural selves. Whereas the hoe, she's herself. She doesn't give a damn.
Stan over here shaking his head.
Yeah,
This is
but
all
that's
facts,
where you,
man.
as the man, if you're dealing with a wholesome woman, bring that freak out in her just in the bed, and that's it.
No,
It don't
you
work
bring
like
that freak out once you get married. So that's not.
Oh, really? It doesn't work like that?
No. And besides, guess what?
What kind of women y'all dealing with?
You know, sister, the next time I want to start telling lies
this
again.
quick announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow's Labor Day, so you better get booed up because that cuffing season. If you want a solid relationship, Labor Day is that deadline because after this, it's just cuffing season hell. Y'all only doing this because of depression.
Why?
Y'all dating it because it's the holidays. You need a boo for Halloween. Dress up as a couple.
Why?
You need to do somebody to you for Thanksgiving. You need a Christmas gift. You need a kiss on. Hold on, Lola. You need a kiss on New Year's. You need to go ahead and act like you got it together for February 14th. Get into your first fight on March 17th because I got drunk. And after that, once we get to April, trying to figure out where we're going to go. And then you got to break up with him or her on Mother's Day because you need to look good with that sundress, hitting the streets because summertime's upon us. Look, if you're dating somebody, seal the deal tomorrow. Labor Day.
But no, why? Why should a woman want to be? Why should a woman?
That's quite a sweet PSA you just did right there.
Well, hold on. Why should a woman want to be booed up with anybody when if you being booed up is part of being wholesome, right? Not sharing the man right there in his face. Yeah. So why? Because we not. It's like y'all don't think we fun anyway.
Look, y'all got to be fun. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I mean,
be adventurous. Like, just be adventurous.
Why is it that y'all gonna sit and make that statement about when you say wholesome women, you just mean women that ain't a freak out in the street? That's what you mean, and you act like regular women are not fun.
Basically, a woman who got raised with some sense.
So what do you mean she not?
I'm with Juvenile. Give me a project chick. Give me a hood rat.
What fun do project chicks give that other women can't give? Give me an example.
Honesty. And I'll stop that there, and I'll leave that alone.
You telling me that listen.
Dan wants you to can throw a punch.
No. I didn't grow up.
No. Because
in the projects, but I grew up in the hood, and I'm telling you now, I'm not ratchet, and I'm not one of those.
No, you could be hood, but
I'm very truthful. I'm very truthful.
Look, there is something about bouginess in the sisterhood, and there's something like versus women that know how women operate and they ain't having it and the attitude and everything else. Speaking from a what am I not? Federal Black American. I'm not a FBA. Someone on the outside looking in. I like the hood rats and the ratchets. They kind of fun. You gotta have a little hood.
No offense, Stan. You're describing yourself as a fuckboy right now. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta have a little ghetto. You know what I'm saying? When we go out to the buffet, you got that plastic bag. You ever getting the free food? I don't mind. when we go out to the
That's
movie,
ghetto as hell.
look, I don't look.
I'm telling you.
Money,
I'm telling you.
all
I'm telling
for it.
you.
You got the Groupon, Golden Star. I'm like, let's go, baby. Look, you can't tell me you
Ain't nothing wrong with the Groupon. Ain't nothing wrong with the coupon.
Okay.
You're not an NBA major.
Hey,
I want to go to the NBA.
Stan, you're describing a frugal woman. You're not describing a freak hoe. You're describing a frugal woman.
Well, but
those are the best ones too. If you frugal, hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm for. I like that stuff. I don't mind the rainbow bright hair. I'm used to that. I'm from Opelika, Florida. That was my goal anyway. I'm from Opelika, Florida. I like Lodgemont Projects, Carroll City. That's what I like growing up. Opelika, Carroll City, Pork and Bean Projects.
Gunshots.
Those to me, those like the unattainable African American princesses. I was into that stuff.
You said untamable?
I still have a little bit inside of me still, so I like that sometimes.
Make sure when I visit, you're gonna have to wear some flak and Kevlar.
So okay, staying in M3. You got a wholesome woman on this side, and you got the 304. Which one you choosing for fun?
304.
Oh, 304, of course. Unless if like unless if I thought church was fun,
Is that? Wait a minute, jerk. Is that after when the man's in a certain phase in his life, or is that just in general?
Just in general.
Now look.
So the wholesome woman, it sounds like what just boring. Is that what it is?
I got.
God forbid the woman cleans, makes you a sandwich, gets in that kitchen, is calm, quiet, collected, peaceful. But you don't want that though. You wanted the GTA.
But look, Lola, don't be losing hope, Lola.
We'll get the whole
Lola's like this is no. Lola said this is damn sad. This is sad.
My bad. Lola, I apologize, man. I shouldn't have told you guys the truth, man. I should have lied to y'all. So my fault, man, for just being honest. I was too honest.
No, I mean you kept it real. Listen, yes, I get it. If a chick is like a quick and easy girl and you just want to have a good time and not take a certified street sport serious, that's fine.
They're not quick. That's what I'm saying. Like they got layers. A lot of times people just assume like whole women are just hoes. They got layers. There's a reason why everybody do something, right? Again, I simped a lot. I'm going through therapy, got coaching. I got ways to go, right? I got ways to go, right? I got ways to go. But if I'm honest, right, when I say I dated demons and everything else, and nice guys don't date nice women, because a lot of times good girls like bad guys. And those bad guys get those good girls first. They get married. They have children, they have families, so they do get that. But if you are a good man, you don't get that. And it's okay. And it's like sometimes men, we're not being honest. And if you're used to it, like
I should have lied to you guys too. I should have lied to you guys.
If I'm used to that, right? But there's a level to it to where I'm like, yeah, I don't want this, I don't want that. But that's the whole thing. Each person as an individual, you'll find out what you like, what you don't like. A lot of time, women from church, I hate to say this, no, I don't. Y'all boring. It's just y'all just some boring individuals.
Yeah, but like half the chicks there, Stan, they're freaks too.
Yeah, until you get married. Ooh, I'm gonna wait till marriage. I believe the try before you buy program. Once you hit 30, try before you buy it. I ain't.
That's well, you should go to Best Buy and keep that receipt, my friend. Go to Best Buy, keep that receipt.
Okay. Let me say this, guys. Hold on. Let me say this, guys. I know I told you ladies that I was going to start lying to you, and then I wound up lying again, right? So let me just tell you guys the truth. All right. So look, a lot of these things that I am projecting because of Christian backgrounds and church.
Trauma.
Because when I was dating these scallywags, right? These ugly ass church sisters. look, I'm going to keep it real with you.
Not the attitude.
These bitches was born as fuck, right?
But
they had no personality.
And he wonders why he got demonetized, yo.
M3, they're beautiful.
Look, hey, forgive me, all right? But I'm telling the truth. I'm just saying. But church women were born, right? I couldn't really be my true natural self. And if I was my true natural self, then I'm a sinner. Then, brother, you need prayer. And then they start telling like the people and the pastors in the church. And then next thing you know, you're being jumped by all these different brothers talking with Bibles, of course, right? Because that was their weapons.
No, not the spiritual jumping.
No, honest. He's been honest. Yep.
Oh, what? Really? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. He's fucking getting a fucking repertoire.
But
Marcus is being put on you like a leash. So like, controlled. You're not allowed to be the man that God made you to be.
Can you just like call him M3's manifesto for your Patreon course or like your book you're gonna release?
What kind of church was y'all in that people like y'all said they was like suppressing y'all or something?
We was in the acronyms of BACC called Bitch Ass Christian Church. So
y'all definitely going to hell.
Yeah. I do not condone this. Myself, Marcus Antonio Castillo does not condone the messaging that this individual above me just said about no.
But wait a minute. I think too that I think a lot of what you're saying isn't so much about the fact that they go to church. I think it's about the fact that you're dating someone that doesn't have the same interests as you. And what you're into, they're just not into. But there's a point where you guys can kind of hook up, but it's not enough for you to stay interested. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've never been considered a church girl, but nobody's ever been bored with me. But I'm not the type female that's gonna stop in the middle of the road and start twerking. No, I'm not that type. I'm not the type that come through airports with bonnets on. I'm not the type that's gonna go to a 5-star restaurant and start stealing shit. Like I don't do that. Okay, now I might steal from Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, because they got the nice stuff I put in
Tabasco bottles.
No, the forks and knives they good quality. You see what I'm saying? I might do that, but I'm not that type female. So it's like you can go anywhere in the world with me. I'm fun, I'm down to earth, but I'm not a 304. And being the 304 just means that you're sexually loose. It doesn't mean that you're interesting. A lot of times females that all they offer is their ass. You can't hold a conversation with them because they haven't done nothing, been nowhere, or understood anything to hold a conversation with you. So when you say that women that are wholesome are boring, and then you even further to the extent say women that go to church, women that are spiritual are boring. What you're saying is I'm not into what you're into, and the women that at least
technically Lola, he said they were ugly.
At least the women that will go to the club, I'm interested in. That's what you're really saying, because everybody don't go to church. I don't go to church, but some people might say they might call me boring because they want to go to the club and get lit. I don't want to get lit.
Yeah, the club scene is old. I was gonna say that. Like club scene is old. But Lola, right? And M3, you can't call people ugly. They have distinct features. Everybody got here somehow because
Can I just answer real quick? Let me just answer in financial terms. Their appearance lowered their financial stock.
Or how about this? God created beautiful people and he created ugly ass honey badger.
Oh, they have distinct features there.
But I like what Lola was saying. So Lola, based on you were saying like they just don't have the same interests.
Right, they don't have the same.
So pretty much like M3 and Stan was suppressing their freaky nature.
No, I disagree
with these females, and then finally they were like they recognized that they wasn't in alignment with them females.
Jerk, right. It was like the church bachelorette, man. They said nope.
Hold on for a minute, Marcus. Hold on. A lot of times, right? Here's something I just want to say this to spiritual women. You're not really that spiritual. You have me in the idea of what you consider spiritual. That's not my walk. Because if you actually read the Bible, there's not only Paul and Peter, there's Joseph, there's Samson, there's David. Every man had different functions. Every man had different personalities. A lot of times you going in there trying to control situations and control men, and you actually use the Bible and the church to control men. Real men don't like being controlled. We need to go ahead.
That's how the white people did it with the black slaves.
Right? And that's how they did for black. Yeah, so if you doing all that stuff and you want to control men, and church provides you a system to control men, and that's a whole nother show. where the church has actually become something, a system to control men in these marriages and these relationships that nobody wants to talk about. That's why a lot of men don't go to church at all. Look, ladies, you gotta understand this is something that we don't like. It's not personally you. It's just a system. It's not you. That's what I'm saying, Lola, and every other woman out here. It's just take you out of it. It's a system. It's bigger than you. It's not you. I'm gonna say this again. It's not you. It's a system that's been going on, and you can't ignore the system because men are avoiding churches, avoiding spirituality because of the abuse in the system that's been breaking them down, and they don't like it. I'm gonna say this one more time again. It's not you.
Stan, do you know that sometimes I find it enjoyable to sit down and spend 5 hours listening to liver box recordings? Do you know that?
Who's that?
Liver box recordings. You know what you don't know what those is. If anybody knows what liver box recordings are, these are recordings from 1939, 1922, 1957 of speakers and conferences of people talking about mind-changing, world-changing things, but it's you have to listen to it, and it sounds crackly like the 1950s, stuff like that. I kind of enjoyed that. Do you think at some point I might meet somebody that might say, you know what, that's kind of boring?
I used to watch black and white movies, so I don't think it's boring.
But here's the thing, right? I would say this, right?
That's definitely boring.
A lot of times it's exposure.
It's definitely fucking boring.
They're open to the exposure, right?
Sounds like my Thursday night.
I get the point. Like you said, you're not always gonna agree on everything, so.
But the whole thing is it's exposure, right? Mm-hmm. Here's something: when you go through a system, right, and I'm exposing you, hey, this is what I like. You go ahead and oh, you already have this group of friends. You have your own subculture out of something I can't control. So let me go ahead and report it back to pastor, also the person that's in your house church, and say that this is a problem. And that's what I'm saying. It's a system a lot of times where, again, people use church to control your overall life, right? A lot of times I tell ministers straight up, you only handle the spiritual stuff. Outside of that, you don't handle anything else in my life. I will give you some spiritual dollars for your ass if you keep this forward.
Man, I don't know what church you guys are talking about. I ain't never been to no church that does matchmaking.
That was in a cult, man. That wasn't no church.
Listen, I don't know no damn church that does matchmaking like that. Because I've been to some other churches, they never do that kind of shit. Give me their number. Give me their number.
But again, right, when you look at churches, this is the overall thing of a good spiritual man is under blah, 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 blah. Again, I'm going to say this again in the nicest way as possible. People have other interests, like Lola just mentioned. That's what she likes. We don't know what that is. You haven't been exposed. A lot of times women,
we
consider women to be hood or hoish, right? But again, I said people have layers. You'll find out what they are. And then you go ahead and you expose them to certain things that's brand new to them. They're appreciative. But that's the whole thing about dating. We forget, a lot of times in dating, you're not only exposing people to activities, but you're also exposing yourself. And we forget that about dating instead of looking at it hey, I need to control this person because I need them to be who I want them to be, as opposed to I need to know who this person is.
So you saying a wholesome girl, if you was in the bowling, right? You on a bowling league, and that's what you like to do and stuff and hang out. You telling me most church girls don't want to go bowling and kind of have fun at the bowling alley?
So I joined the bowling team. That's going to be a problem because I don't go ahead and spend more time with her because we're not building, because she feels that that's a threat to the relationship.
No, let me say something to you real quick, right?
Bowling rhymes with boring.
And that's fucked up. And I like bowling too.
Lola, what's your thought on that? I gotta hear this. Lola, what?
I think y'all being a bit over critical of, first of all, Christian women. Okay, and I'm not Christian, but y'all Stan know I'm an occultist, so he knows I respect all religions, but it's I think y'all being a little overcritical of Christian women, and I do understand there are some women, no matter what religion they're in, that they're just into just that part of their life. and
You
nothing
just
else.
haven't went to bitch ass Christian church yet, but it's
But,
okay, Lola. I
but
forgive you.
see, what y'all did was say we prefer the 304, and I know you don't prefer the 304 when it comes to fun because
Instead of the BACC.
hold on, Marcus. I be listening to these 304s and I be seeing their accounts, and nobody be having no conversation with them. They looking at them, sure, and they want to fuck them, sure, but conversation. It's like a 304. You go to a movie with a 304, right? And you ask her, so what did you get out of the movie? Did you like the movie? Yeah, it was cool. And she don't know what else to say. And you want to have a conversation. Whereas with someone like myself, who I'm not a 304, not at all. I don't subscribe to the rap culture. You ask me how I feel about it, I'm gonna take that as an opportunity for you to be intimate with me and see who I really am. A ratchet bitch is not worried about you seeing who she really is. She really is just loud. She really is just out there. She really is embarrassing. She really is low grade. She just really is all those things. But again, it's like, what is fun to you?
Lola,
wait, guys. See,
y'all trying to.
I didn't want to interrupt you guys because I know Stan was cooking.
I see the misconnection here.
But
because
this
in Christian world, right, dating a sinner, right, dating somebody who's not part of church life, they call it ratchet. They call it whores. That was my bad, right? So that's what they called it, right? Because I'm not dating somebody who's a Christian. I'm dating hoes. I'm having sex. I'm ratchet. I'm ghetto. I'm hood. I'm lukewarm and everything else, right?
I thought they only called it unequally yoked. That's what I thought.
But yeah, but dating when you're single, but then if you're getting married, having children, that's the unequally yoked. Okay. That's where that comes in. But outside of like that church, I dated other Christian women, right? And there was one woman, she wouldn't date me because I was not following this minister called John Gray or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know who this cat is. Well, you can't take me out unless you follow his teachings. And I'm just like, he's not Jesus. He ain't died for my sins. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh, she's trying to get you to submit.
Person, right?
Right.
Right. But a lot of times dating women that is like in this religion of Christianity, and it doesn't matter for that church or any other church, a lot of times it is boring. A lot of times it's the same thing over and over again. And it's not really exciting when I'm dating somebody who's not Christian. And it's like dating non-Christian women. Because when I tell women like, oh yeah, I date other like women that's not following the faith, they're like, oh, you date whores, you date hoes, you date unbelievers, you date witches. So there's rumors out there I'm dating a witch. And one time somebody told me that, like, if I'm dating a witch, I got a whole list of enemies for her to go through.
You got some backup stand. Let me just say this, right? Lola, personally, look, from me to you, right? I would never look at you like you're a boring person. You may be a wholesome woman, but that doesn't mean that you're boring. Let me just make it really simple, okay?
Okay.
This is just based off of our experiences, right? I mean, not only with bitch ass Christian church or whatever, but unfortunately, I have encountered with a lot of women, right? And look, I respect like they have a strong faith like in the Lord. I'm not gonna knock Jesus down and just be like whatever, right? I'm not gonna go from Paul and revert back to Saul, okay? But the problem is that the things that I'm hearing, that what makes just the individual boring, right? Anytime I hear a woman, in my opinion, right, based off my preferences, what I like and what I don't like, whenever a women's like, hey, like, okay, I'm not gonna go to a party, not only because there's alcohol there, and I can respect that. I don't drink alcohol, so I understand. But then if they're playing secular music, meaning that if they're not playing gospel music, right, where they're saying holy, 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 then they're not gonna attend. And to me, I can't live a life like that where I feel like I'm going to be restricted of my animalistic side of me, because my animalistic side of me wants to explore and do other things. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, if I was with a highly religious woman versus like with a temporary 304, like mentally it would be exhausting to not do this and to not do that. Which the idea of Christianity, you'll think the way how they promote the shit, right? This bullshit that it's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to live like a pure life, like you're supposed to renew again, be happy. But if you're not happy yourself, and of course you're donating your tithes and offerings to pastor or whatever, right? So he could get his new Bentley. I don't see where the fun is at.
It sounds like a scam.
So at a
we need to have a whole live on this.
Right.
Yeah, you need to audit, my friend.
We definitely gotta break this down.
Audit the guy, get your money back.
Like, it's not only the church that he described. A lot of times, it's a lot of these churches, and it's a lot of when you date Christian women, there is something that's there where you're not going to have fun. You're not allowed to have fun, and the only way for you to have fun is go to revival. I have ADHD. I would go to a Catholic church because it's like 15, 20 minutes and I get some wine at the end. I don't need to see you preach for no 3 hours. That's who I am. I will not go to no Christian nightclub. Don't you dare do that. That's not realistic.
I don't know where y'all meeting these women at because I don't know no women like that. I don't now. I do.
Can you send me the number?
I know of a man who's married to a woman like that, and I find that highly strange. But see, here's the thing. A lot of times y'all will get with these women because they got the roundest asses and they suck it that good. And y'all don't care until later on when they on some old whatever shit. You see what I'm saying? Right now, what y'all describing. Let me talk. Y'all describing the extremity of people, the people who in cults, and the people who are extremely sinners. Like you're not describing nobody in
Lola, Christian women are not allowed to suck dicks, okay, until they're married.
So Lola,
like
staying in M3 is infatuated. That's what it was lust.
Right?
That's
Overall,
what drove him in.
Here's something: when you're single and
who was y'all pastor? Jim Jones?
When you're hold on, Marcus.
No, it was a Tongan guy.
Here's something like you guys just missed out on. When you're single in church, and there's a whole bunch of other single people in church, there are things that come out and that's manifesting that you will never see ever in life unless you're single in church. Not married and going to church, but being single in church, that's like something else the church just covers up with a blanket and never talk about. A lot of people that are single in church, the experience is very similar. That's why a lot of people are in mixed marriages. Now, this would consider mixed marriage in church. They're dating somebody who's Muslim. They're dating somebody who's an alternative, what they call like yoga practices, or dating somebody who's into witchcraft or voodoo, right? But I'm like, that's what's going on a lot, because what's going on in churches, there's a big cover up when you're single, and then there's this thing that's there. You guys can call it a cult, and yeah, it's funny, but ask somebody who's single in church, and you will see like there's this lifestyle that's there that's been hidden, and it's unbelievable. And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, being spiritual doesn't mean I need to date a woman from church, and that's what I've learned in leaving church alone, right? But again, there's rumors going around Stanley dates witches, and Stanley is like a priest for some demon. I'm like, like what is up with this stuff that's going on? If rumors goes around, because I don't want to accept this stuff. I can see through it. Like it's nothing that's there. And ladies, look, and men, if you're still single in church, but you're up here being more faithful to the minister than to your own life, you're part of a harem, not a cult. Get out of it. Go find your own husband, find your own wife. If they don't go to your church, they don't need to go to church. They don't need to go to your church. You can date
so it's just like Baptist, Pentecostal, with
all of it. They'll consider that a mixed marriage. If you date a Quaker and you married to a Quaker, that's a mixed marriage. And you're a Baptist.
So you have a church, a club, or a cult.
Now, people are leaving their particular church and meeting other spiritual people or people with different spiritualities, and they're getting married, and the marriages are lasting. They got children, and children are dealing with two faiths at the one time, and find out what other faith works for them. I mean, that's something that's going on now, but we don't talk about it because church is something, or religion is something that we don't talk about freely a lot.
I think Okay, I will give you that stand, but I will also caution Christians talking about dating witches because a particular king that they all love to quote was known to have kept a witch in his back pocket despite what he was told. And you know how them kings do when they got bitches in their back pocket and shit. But anyway, never mind that. What we gonna say is this: women who are not hoes in the street are not boring. It just so happens that when you meet ones that are overly religious in the church or at revival, this is what you get into. But to say wholesome women is boring, that is so untrue. That's so untrue. I bet, is your wife boring?
Nah, she ain't boring.
See what I'm saying? I don't understand. And I know Mrs. M3 ain't boring. She be traveling all the world with your ass, sir. And I'll be wondering if she tired. I know she ain't boring.
Y'all eating
You had it in the
avocados in
beginning,
Mexico
Lola,
and shit.
when you said they was following the big ass. They try to do the whole fake religion thing, you know, try to get close, and then I think that's what happened with
They
Stanley
thought the
over
ass and the heart were the same size.
Look, if I was gonna do that, I'll go straight up Pentecostals because they got the biggest breast assistant booty around.
Wow.
He said they the
We
thickest.
got a glossary. Stan has a.
Stan got a whole matrix out here. Stan like, look,
Pentecostals
Pentecostals is hella thick.
The Pentecostal church have a lot of rules, and that's the thing about when you go to a legalistic, you grow up legalistically. Man, when someone turned 18 and I don't have to go to church, man, I left the pulpit for the pole. I was stripping with the strippers, like, bye, peace, and discovering sin. I'm like, what's this stuff y'all was talking about? I can't do. So
that's an extremity, but I get what you're saying, though. I think it has merit, but I just think when you go as far as to say women that are, you know, worth anything are really not, because you can't really relate to a woman that's worth something. I think you're saying something without saying it, and I think that sets a bad precedent. Because again, if we tell women being wholesome is not what the men want, they want the 304s. Women are followers; they will become the 304s, and then men will get back online and say, "Oh, you bitches."
I mean, most of them are doing it anyway, though. So I'm just saying.
You know what? You can't have it both ways, sir. You're gonna have to pick a strategy.
Okay, I was gonna say this. Here's something about prudence, right? Or that word prudence, right? Being a prude is not always good. You gotta live a little. You gotta live a little. Explore new stuff. And that's it. Like, life is short. Explore new stuff. Stop controlling people with religion. And that's across the board. Like, people don't like being controlled with religion. You are being controlled by society. That's fine. We are being controlled by our jobs.
Control a bitch with his mouthpiece. I'm gonna go in the bedroom like she a child. So religion or whatever you want to choose, people trying to control other people with a lot of shit. But all I'm saying.
No, but Marcus, look, not Marcus. M3 is a pimp. He's from Oakland. That's what they do in Oakland.
I'm offended.
No, that's from Oakland. He's from Oakland. They like that in Oakland. They straight up. I'm from the South. I'm trying like boys to men, like, baby, just lay down. I got you. I'm going to work 3-4 jobs. That stuff I had to get healing from, so I don't even do that no more. I'm a cold piece right now.
And look, on the record, I'm not a pimp.
Stan, you said you're a reformed simp. That's what you said?
Yeah, I have to be careful because sometimes my simpish ways, he comes back like, turn off this R&B. Just turn this off. So,
No, I do hear what y'all saying about the church. I think people become dependent on it, and then they go to that extreme where they make it like the whole center of everything, and it's almost like they can't have no fun. It's just like, man, they don't want to listen to anything. They throwing out like, oh, so yeah, I think that people go through like when they get in there early, they go to that extreme, but then once they start, you know, becoming in it, they don't make it like the central focus of everything, you know, and they can get back to having fun. So.
but sadly, even us having this podcast,
I'm still wondering how the hell we got from Cam Newton and freaking Nick Cannon to religion and thoughtish club churches. I'm trying to like get.
Three say that the whole is more because we were talking about men that choose certain types of women that have kids with over the better women, and then he like, well, the 304s is more funner, and men want fun. And
yeah, but that was in response to Stan's comment when he was saying that what he prefers, like he would choose as a single man in general, he would choose a 304 over a good clean woman or so-called clean woman.
That's gross. That just sounds gross.
Biblical. I want to keep it biblical. Marcus, hold on. I'll keep it biblical. A lot of times, I want the Philistine women. I want the Philistine.
You got to break it down. Some people don't know that.
Samson and the Philistines are Philistines, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I got to be careful with the Delilahs. I just got to be careful because.
Was that like Sodom and Gomorrah?
No, Philistines.
No, he's talking about Delilah.
You didn't fall for it.
No, Delilah, because she was a Philistine, and that was the downfall of Samson. Samson was a prophet, right?
She was the one that cut Samson's
Delilah
hair.
was already dating or married to a Philistine woman. He didn't want Jewish. He didn't want that. To him, that was boring. He wanted Philistine, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, I do have to check myself for it, but it's something easier of dealing with women that's not from church because there's a certain freedom that's there that I don't experience from people, from women from church, because church women a lot of times they are boring. They're kind of stuck up. They're not even church women, say church people, right? I know like we're all sinners before we became Christians, but it's that part you forget, right? There's no compassion for sinners. It becomes a club church. It becomes us versus the world. And I'm like, yo, like,
is it almost like a control freak type thing? That's what it sounds like. Like
it's
you're
you're pro-life, but now that you're born, you're pro-choice. So that's what it's like. You're like, God forgave me. Oh, thank you. I'm coming back to the kingdom. Let's keep them out. I don't want no competition. You're mine, and you're gonna stay.
It sounds like.
Yeah, that's isolation. That's definitely a cult.
Again, like a lot of times, Christianity or whatever religion that you're in, they do control you to the point where you're going to rebel. And I don't know what to tell you. You rebel.
You think that's majority of your churches, or just experiences you have with your churches?
There's other churches I've gone to, and I said again, I dated women outside of my own church, and it was the same thing. They want to know who your minister is, who you follow, what books. I mean, that stuff is boring. Like, do we not think for ourselves? Do we not have our own personal relationship with God? Do I also I have my own walk with God? God wants me to go here. Are you gonna follow me there? No, you want me to follow you.
But so they want to be stagnant. Look, I'm just going to, I know I made streams about this, right? And obviously, I guess I have to make another stream again. So you guys got to stay tuned when I do actually make a stream breaking down the church politics again.
We need Lola there for that one. I see her taking notes. She's mentally breaking y'all down now. What's the diagnosis, Lola? What's the diagnosis?
I feel bad because I feel like we kept Lola's head down for a minute, right? Because, Lola does take things personal, right? Thinking that we're talking about her, but we know Lola's fun. And we're not saying Lola's fun because as if she's a 3 or 4, but we know Lola's fun because she is herself and she is not a Christian woman.
Somebody's calling their PR agent right now.
So that's a plus.
But it sounds like Lola, like she wouldn't try to change somebody or try to
she's like in between.
She wouldn't try to like change somebody. So it's like if you didn't align with her,
said, "Hell no."
Yeah. Like in between. What?
Lola didn't. Hold on, though.
It's a control freak.
Lola didn't disagree with what you said, though. I noticed.
Listen, I am in between, but I think that's where everybody's trying to get to, that balance in between. They're not trying to be on either side. The hoes don't have no respect. The chicks that's overly religious don't know anything of how to apply respect for real. Like it's a strange dynamic. However, being in the middle is where everybody want to be. But my thing is, if these women in church are like that, it should be easy to say, nope, not for me. But if these 304s are not long term, it should be easy, but it's not easy. People are saying, you know what? Oh my God, she's a 304. Let me take this condom off and bust up in her. Like, and then complain about child support later on. Like, this is the most stupidest thing going on.
Wait, Stan. Let me go here real quick, right? And I'll make it quick. It is not easy for anybody, especially like once you're mentally integrated with that church, you're like emotionally like attached to it, just like you're emotionally attached to any part of the relationship. So even if it's like a domestic type of relationship, right?
See, that's why I said it's a dependency that people have.
Yeah. So it sometimes it takes years to break free of that type of mental mindset. And and one of these days, off camera, off the live stream, I will fully explain it a lot more better, you know, on a personal scale.
Yeah.
But you know, online, I mean, you know, you had to keep things at a minimum. Still, fuck you, bitch ass Christian church. But again, look, man, if you guys only knew,
I
all
sense a strike coming soon.
But look, for me, right? It's since I am and I have dated women from different churches and other religion, right? What I've learned and what I like about dating women from other backgrounds, other faith backgrounds, is how they apply their faith, even though they're not Christians. So for me, it's like, it's interesting, right? Like why you don't curse, like why you don't do certain things, not because you have this disregard or fear of Jesus or God and everything else. There's something that's deeper in, and I like that, exploring that stuff. What I don't like is that, you know, to be called a heretic and to be called all these other names, because like, look, a lot of us who grew up in church, we leave. A lot of us that came back, after that you leave again, to remind you like why you left in the first place, right? So a lot of times when it comes to religion and dating, yeah, it's big. But what I've learned is that sometimes that spirituality is better than religion. So that's what I'll leave it with. Like sometimes,
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Like it's not perfect, but then when you get exposed to like, there's so many people who are like this. Because I remember when somebody broke it down to me. One of my uncles, he's like, 85% of people are sheep. So it doesn't matter what church you go to, it's going to be the same thing. And so, and then there's 10% out of the 100 from the 85 who know the system, and they're gonna manipulate the system for their well-being, and they're gonna be what we call deemed the narcissistic and the psychological thrillers and killers of the world. And there's 5% of us that's like understand the system and understand balance, and that's where we're at. We're just the 5%, and we all just gotta somehow find each other, because you're that 5%. You gotta just go ahead. And that's our lot in life, is to, it's not sad or anything. It's like you're at a different level. You're that 5% that understands balance.
But Stan, do you think that's the reason why all these dudes, the pookies in the hood and the pookies up in Hollywood, is out here nutting up the club?
Again, those pookies, right? Again, that's a whole, this is not spirituality, or I'm not even, those people. That's something that we gotta look at for mental illness sake or mental wellness. That's for real, because this is not happening to people who have money. We all know, again, I know some people in my neighborhood got 35 kids and they're under 40. How do you have 35 kids under 40? I know somebody, when I was 25, he had already 18 children. And we're both 25. He got 18 kids. There's something there that we're not looking at the mindset. So that by itself, it's its own creature. That's something different. But a lot of times I'm saying,
you got an STD, I tell you that.
Oh, there's this guy on TikTok. He says he don't care what he got. He turn off the light. It doesn't matter if it's a discharge or not. You still gonna get this.
I bet you got
that. Sounds like Diddy.
Because if he meet a bitch like me, right? If the police don't lock his ass up, he gonna be underneath the jail in the dirt fucking with me. Like seriously, like niggas that feel like that. Oh, you want to give somebody some shit? Oh, I got you.
But that's the thing. Like, we gotta look at the male mindset, because there's been teaching other men classes on TikTok. That's why I love TikTok, on how to be a hobosexual, HBO, homosexual, HOB, right? How to meet a woman on the weekdays, bust it down, and don't leave, and stay there, get mail delivered, and have squatter rights. There's straight up classes on TikTok. I mean, there's men that just straight up being predators, like looking for a single baby mama, make sure that you go ahead and have an anchor baby, and then just like give her a baby number 2, 3, and 4, and you stay there and be supportive and everything else. There's classes that's being taught on TikTok.
That's fine.
But I'm saying, but like, that's this whole thing. Like, we have to study that, because a lot of times that's some men goals is to find a rich chick and get her pregnant and be taken care of. We don't talk about that side because we focus so much on women, but we're not looking at the men. That's also part of the issue as well.
Guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up. I enjoy this conversation from Cam to religion.
We definitely got to do the religion one.
Yeah.
You might have to split this up.
More like Cam to Colts. Can you just call it?
But our next topic for our Talks of Tuesdays lineup is why the singlehood. I'm sorry, the sisterhood. Oh, I said singlehood. The sisterhood will keep a woman single. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about that on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, Lola, you're gonna love this. I found the clip when the woman's like, "Why is she going back to her husband? She better come out and hang out with me." Like,
shout out to Kiki Palmer. I know they're mad, but hey, they're gonna accept her baby daddy, whatever, right? Anyways, thank you everybody.
Misery does love company, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that's the sisterhood. I would say that is sometimes the jealousy of women. Like, I have friends that when we're on the phone, if their man call, they gotta hang up. Period. That's a culture. It's like if your man call, go handle home.
You said that's a culture?
The culture amongst real women is when you on the phone with your friend and her man or her husband call, you supposed to get the fuck up off the phone and go let her handle home. But if you won't let her go handle home because you feel like your conversation is so fucking great, you an immature little girl. That's what I'm saying. It's like
but that's also a culture too, and the culture is a sisterhood.
That's not.
We got
he means a sorority.
What is that, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Talks of Tuesday.
Toxic Tuesday. See, y'all
we got
toxic.
Toxic Tuesday.
You have anything for tomorrow?
It's Labor Day. People gotta get booed up, Marcus. They gotta meet their deadline tomorrow.
Yeah. I was thinking like a Labor Day.
Stan, you should do a live breaking down that cuffing season.
I would love to hear that.
No, we had to give the credit to what's his name though. Coach Greg Adams, so he did a whole cuffing seating.
Oh my God, not this dude. No, I can't. Listen. Some people I will debate, but there's other people I'd rather you stay in the hell you in by yourself, and he one of them.
No, he did a good job. It was like it's not anybody's fault. It's just look, it is the holidays. It's winter. You want to get cuddled. I think that's the whole thing. Like, this is the reason why Relationship Toxic still runs YouTube. We all know that we want to belong to somebody. I'm still fighting them R&B songs though. We all want to belong to somebody. We all want that one. And I think like when it comes to the holidays, when I gave out the dates and how things are going to work out, because they always do. First fight is always March 17th because y'all drunk. Y'all really going to let people have it. Look, people want to be cuffed, and we got to be honest. Like, you want to be cuffed.
They want to fuck. That's the difference. Being cuffed means getting in arguments over stupid shit and feeling like you want to break up, but you won't because you know that they ain't done nothing worth breaking up over, but you're going to fight it through every single day. That's being cuffed. They don't want to be cuffed. They want to fuck.
But they're hoping that the fucking leads to the cuffing.
Fucking never.
Yeah.
That's not what they put. That's not what put in the movie.
Well, once you start having kids,
you clearly haven't gone to Vegas.
But Lola, that's not in the books. That's not in the books.
Half the marriages happen like that over there.
But you see, in the books and the movies, that's what happens. You have sex and you fall in love. It's like Cinderella in the glass slippers.
Men don't fall in love from having sex. You know that.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
They do.
You haven't met the Sims yet.
Come on, Lola. You know it's happened.
You can.
I was in here earlier.
No. You can ride like a cowgirl all night. Niggas will get up and see the next chick and be emotionally.
How you, as a woman, gonna tell us how we operate?
As the men, how we. You just heard these guys. What these guys went through up there.
No,
man, I was on here like an hour ago. My phone went dead, and she talking about some men don't want kids. They just want to fuck. I'm like, huh?
Who said that?
You did.
I said it.
Lola, yes, you did.
Say that.
I said men don't want kids.
Yeah, I think he was like, yeah, men don't want kids or something. They just want to fuck. I think we were like,
no. She was talking about the other way around. She said women don't want to cuff the men. They just want to fuck. And I'm like, well, not necessarily. Like, there is strategic lifetime strategies. Remember, women think 5 years beyond how we be thinking. So yes, at the moment, you guys having the urge to fuck, but you also have a plan of trapping us into long-term relationships once like those babies and those seeds start and like get into the system. But
it's been proven that doesn't. That's not.
My bad. Then I guess I was off.
No, you good though.
It's been proven socially and scientifically that men are not psychologically trapped to a woman because she gets pregnant, and they damn sure ain't psychologically trapped to a woman because he lay down and fuck her. That's not how that works.
That's not true.
That's
I fall in love all the time every time I have
sex.
sex.
Lola, that's why they're simps.
See, y'all just want to be difficult because it's me. I get it.
No. That's why they're simps.
No. Y'all being difficult because it's me. But see, I know that y'all can lay down, no feelings, and get up, no feelings.
No, Lola, you know what's
down, y'all got
You've been throwing extremes like for like a good 2 hours now.
Real quick, simp stands for SIMP, right? SIMP stands for sex is my poison.
I thought SIMP stands for squirrels in my pants.
Well, for simp, sex is my poison. That's what simp stands for. Sex is my poison.
And all they want is sex. They don't want feelings. Come on, what are you doing?
That is feelings tied in. That's what a simp does.
That is not it.
Yes, it is. That's
I'm pretty sure a simp wants feelings over just the sex. Otherwise, simps would just hire prostitutes.
Simps are paying for constant pussy. That's what they doing.
No, they're not. That's not really what simps are doing.
I've seen.
Do you know how a simp works?
Yeah, I'm a woman.
But
I mean, I would. But I'm just playing.
I lost my train of thought on that one, but I will say this though, right? To be fair though, right? But it depends on the woman that you're messing with, because sometimes no,
don't contradict now. Don't contradict.
You all have those urges. Hold on. You all have those urges until post clarification hits, and then we're a little bit more clear. But look, Sophisticated Jerk has to go. We will conclude this somehow. Trust me on this one. We might probably add that repertoire to.
Now, you and Stan need to give an account for why hoes are better than wholesome women. That's what y'all need to do.
I thought
that needs to be alive, man. I'm telling you, wholesome versus
hoes.
Well, for hoes, yeah. We need to have a topic on that. I think that would be a good discussion.
Well, some of the ladies out there, if you're watching this, you can find me on Crimson Mingle. But
see, the problem is that like we told you guys the truth, and Lola does not want to accept the truth. At least Sister I am like amidst the truth and knows her the fate of it. But Lola, I don't know. I don't think you're really ready to really handle like the honesty that we share.
The honesty? I'm telling you that you are not articulating a difference specifically, and you're not articulating a basis for better or let's say more funner. You're saying that she's sexually more fun. That's what you're saying. You're not saying
you're just not listening. And I didn't even really get to like the sexual aspects if you really want to go there. I'm just talking about more of like having an intimate conversation and a good wholesome type of
bitch that only know how to lay on her back, don't have conversations. She sits there and says random shit, and you know it.
It's the byproduct of it, but you could still have a conversation.
Starfish sex.
Okay, look. Obviously, Lola hasn't been in my shoes, right? So I get it. You don't understand Lola, right? But one day, hopefully, like you'll be able to understand when you start listening to what we're talking about. Because it's a two-way street. We could tell you the information, but you have to be willing to listen, and you have to be willing to accept the reality of it. And here's the thing: it's not the end all be all. At the end of it, we still want to get married to a wholesome, with a WH woman.
That is the truth.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. No, you don't. Look at this. No. Explain.
Don't put me in that we.
Go ahead. Explain. Go explain.
Don't put me in that we. We want to get married. No, what?
And for the last time, SIP stands for sucker idolizing mediocre pussy.
Well, look. What? There could be a way to get like multiple wholesome women. I mean, wasn't that? Dang, all that.
That's what SIP stands for. The acronym for SIP is a sucker idolizing mediocre.
I think the proper way I would explain a simp is that somebody who's going above and beyond for a girl not giving him equal, well, at least equal to somewhat similar amounts of reciprocation, right? So yeah, like because I don't buy the idea that simps just want pussy. That just doesn't really make sense. Like if somebody just want pussy, they would just buy pocket pussy. They would just hire prostitutes. It's
Did you
really
say
nothing to do
pocket
that.
pussy?
Yeah,
We know what's in his closet now.
I mean,
Gross.
Generous is right because it's levels to it. It's more to it besides like what's inside like your viscous innards, right? People look. Men are trying to
Not according to y'all said
No, but again, remember when we said like culturally in Christian culture, dating a woman outside of church is considered you dating hoes. You dating
right.
That's
and they could be really good women. But I'm just saying from a Christian mingle type of standpoint, right? Where you're in a religious organization, anytime you're dating someone outside of that church, even if you're dating another woman that goes to a different church and is a Christian, they still consider them to be worldly. They still consider them to be hoes, sinners, whatever, right? My thing is that
y'all describing manipulation and shit. So they had y'all like,
no, there's like
they will argue with me. They will argue with me, and they saying that. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's extreme.
So they like labeled everybody. Anybody that ain't go to y'all church and put $1 in the offering plate was a hoe.
No, I don't go to that bitch ass.
That's pretty much what y'all describing.
Yeah, that's really weird.
All right, he's going after this stream right now.
You can't date Lutherans. You can't date like again. I tell you.
Yeah, so they was trying to control. Like I see what y'all saying. It was a control thing.
Yeah, because what if all the people dating each other at the church? That means you don't got no options.
That's what they're hoping for.
So they was like trying to set y'all up in there, like.
Yeah, so basically, right, and I wish I could find like some type of picture so I could describe how horrible they look, but it's like prison, right?
You took a picture?
M3, don't church. There. M3, no.
So imagine this little bubble, right? They want you to date within the church, right? Keep it within the family name of Jesus, right? Well, BACC version of Jesus. And so they want you to date those Christian women, go on dates with them, which, you know, I was pretty much El Cheapo back then, and I still is anyways, right, when it comes to dates or whatever, right? But I'm just saying, you know, I'm frugal. But I want to spend my money on someone that I'm not going to really have a good time with. Look, I'm not having sex with you, okay? So I already know that's out of the question. But can I at least get a friendship? Can I at least get a phone call?
You know what? And maybe you should invite some Christian women in the chat that you know from and have them up here and let's see who's boring and why. Is it because of their Christian background?
Well, Lola, if I invite the Christian women up here, I won't be able to curse. All right, I have to keep it holy.
No. See, I've seen women on this panel that are very Christian, and a lot of Christian women do curse. So you're not going to get me with that one. And no, don't do that.
Well, maybe
are they really Christians then?
Right.
They say they is, but see, he's saying that they boring, and I'm saying let's put that to the test.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about okay.
Yeah,
all right. I think it's taking this more of like I'm saying this like in a general statement. So I'm going to make it clear one more time. The Christian women that I've encountered that I talk to are boring. Even the ones that I'm around with are boring, right? But that doesn't mean that maybe another fake Christian will be boring. Maybe she might.
But y'all gotta elaborate on the boring. I think that's where me and Lola trying to. So are they boring because they so fixated on church? Like everything revolves around that?
Okay, so
or is it their schedule or something?
We're gonna break this down tonight, damn it.
All right, look.
Tonight?
Okay.
Now, by the way, keep in mind, Jesus said that most of the world is on the wide path, but you claiming most of them on the thin path.
Yeah.
So I need you to help me understand how Jesus was lying.
See, now you want to put
with your frugal self,
right? Well, look, let's go there, right? First of all, how do we even know if Jesus is even real, anyways, right? Because I'm just putting it out there, right? Because
now you're going to do this.
because the white man did, you know, was the one who, fat ass King James, right, was the first translator of the scriptures to begin with, anyways, though. And everybody always come up with different names for Jesus, anyways. I'm not saying that he doesn't exist, but I'm saying like the way how we call him Jesus is that's the true name of it. But
Yeshua actually was a person, sir. Let's get past that. He was, and Yeshua said a lot of things, and people wrote it down. So at the end of the day, Yeshua said that regardless of religion, most of the world was going to hell because they wide open out this bitch. So I need you to help me understand why Christian women specifically are mostly on the straight and narrow when Jesus said they ain't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Mr. Haitian broke it down. Hold on, let me pull up his comment. Let me see.
I'm not interested, but I know what.
He said M3 is just not interested in the butt. He just wants to hit, which is okay to say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he interested.
But no, he said something else too about longevity in the church.
That's what I said. It sounds like he just. It sounds like them 304s is exciting when it comes to sex. But he ain't said one thing about how good they is outside of it.
Yeah, because what type of conversation y'all trying to have? Because I know that was referenced a couple times.
Look on my page on Christian Mingle, my handle is Send You to Heaven. SIN. So we know when we're going on my page.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go there with your little handle, right? But
don't do that. Don't up their algorithm like that.
Look, you know, the first question they ask you on Christian Mingle for a man, like, do you have a six-pack? That's the first question they ask on Christian Mingle.
They do?
Allegedly. Go ahead and do a profile. If you're not married, don't do it. But the rest of you that's single, go ahead and do a profile on Christian Mingle. They ask you for your height. Do you have a six-pack? Do you work out?
And you gotta make sure you have a lot of money too.
Stop playing. Somebody got verified this.
Plenty of shit.
Let him explain how good a conversation that the 304s got over the regular people.
All right, so
let's not call them 304s. Can we call them Philistine women?
Look, I said hoes, right? So
let's call them Philistines. Call them Philistines. Keep it biblical since we're gonna go there.
I don't remember. Okay, Philistines and what? Okay, so the hoes are the Philistines, right? You're muted, Stan.
I'm sorry, because keep in mind, right? Because when we're losing people because they think about actual hoes, they're missing out the culture, the subculture of Christianity of some Christians, that women who are not part of church. It's called that. That's a subculture.
Okay, look, I'm gonna say non-members. Okay, non-members versus the members, just to make it more simplistic, right? So nobody get confused with the hoes and then the church wholesome.
Does this include the Church of Shango? I just want to know.
Shango,
what's that?
No.
Church of Shango. Stan, you don't know
Papa Shango.
Shango or Shiloh. Are you trying to say Shiloh? Or
don't do that.
I said Shango. I didn't say Shadow. I said Church of Shango.
Yeah, let's not include them in this, Lola.
Okay. They Philistines. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, you want me to explain to you or not? I'm ready.
Go ahead, explain, sir.
Okay, so look. So let me start off with the members, okay? To make it more clear. So unfortunately, with the members, when you're trying to build a connection, okay? I'm just gonna go with the connection to make it simple, right? Without the sex or whatever, just building that connection. A lot of them are superficial. They mask as if like they're all about Jesus, they're all about the word and all that. But when you actually have a conversation with them, they don't talk about anything else that most people would probably talk about. They don't go outside of the box. They don't talk about, like, I'm not saying you talk about politics or whatever, but if you talk about religion all the time, talk about when was the last time you got baptized, what was your Bible study like all this superficial stuff. But you don't never talk about, okay, what's going on? Like, who is the real you? I cannot connect with you that way because I still don't know you. I just only know the church you, the one that you try to present yourself that you're holy and down. And then the best conversations are the ones, right, who are the so-called non-members. Those are the ones that really don't care about trying to please people. Those are the ones that's not trying to look good in front of like the eyes of the church. those are ones that you could literally actually have a conversation, in-depth conversation, almost talk about anything, and you could actually have that relatable type of conversation. But you cannot have those conversations.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to go after he's done.
Them is the lies.
No, I think also what
okay, but you asked me like to explain to, so I'm explaining to you. You saying that's not.
Lola, there's a vulnerability that's there.
Hey, Stan, real quick before you go, right? I just realized that maybe M3, maybe you're just not as devout. Not shaming you about it, not attacking you about it, but maybe they're on a whole different level of seriousness. The way you're describing a woman who really is into her beliefs and her religions, and she probably takes it a little more serious, as opposed to people who are sometimes, not saying you, but I get it. You want to have other conversations, those subjects, but maybe you're so used to people that maybe are lukewarm. Maybe there are people to their schedule, maybe what their job, revolves around, maybe the church and religion and their beliefs and stuff like that. So there's people like that out there.
Yeah,
and
but
I think maybe that's the
question, Marcus. Like on my experience, these are the same type of women that in church, because they put you in categories. Because since you're a member of the church, they put you in a beta male type of category. But outside the church, these are worse than like 3 or 4s. Because at least a 3 or 4 will happily and openly admit where she's at. But these are women, right, that when it comes to the alpha dude, like anything goes without the church even knowing. So
you mean like behind the scenes, like behind what they actually show?
So behind the scenes of like this boring church woman, because again, everybody's trying to put a mask on because you are a member in the church. Nobody doesn't want to be judged.
So you're saying they chameleons?
Yeah, but we wind up judging other people, if that makes sense.
Because in the beginning you said it's because they were ugly as shit.
Well, they are, but
this guy ain't shit. He ain't shit
for telling the truth. So you know what I mean. So
I mean, I can kind of get what he's saying because in a way, I can kind of relate to some things. Like it's kind of almost. I mean, it's like, what if a guy is rich and he's famous, or maybe he just has really high status, and then he's never really had all that much game, right? If he goes up to a woman and starts bragging about his shoe collection, I mean, some will be impressed if they're like really into shoes, but it's kind of like realistically, it's kind of like, what does that have to do with me? Like, how can I really relate if you're sitting there bragging about a shoe collection? It just really does nothing for me. So in a way, like I can kind of agree with the guy at the bottom said that maybe you're not as devout about it, because on one hand, it's like, this is their life, this is what they like to talk about, and it's kind of like what makes up a huge part of the personality is participating in the word, the daily word, going to church. But of course, like that, I can understand how something that can turn some people off, because it's like, you want to have conversations about different things, not about what type of person. Not how do I put this? At least what type of person you are as far as the individual, and not just what you did in church today and how you found a way to praise the Lord. But then again, that is very dependent on what type of person you are as far as.
Bro, M3 don't got no patience for these kind of chicks, bro.
Right. So I mean, it depends.
M3 don't got no patience.
It depends on what type of person you are. Like, if you're like a super deep religious person, I think usually you'll probably find those conversations like, really insightful, because you're learning a lot. You're finding out that this person is doing this with their religious faith and whatnot, and you're learning different things about religious faith and whatnot. For some people, again, that can be a turnoff because they want to talk about different things. They might feel that this person is just trying too hard to be a devout Christian, or at least present themselves as a devout Christian, like they just have no flaws. I mean, I can understand that too, but
But you did say something, M3, I kind of understand now, where it's like they're super judgmental and stuff, and like you said, for the right person, they throw it all out the window, so it's kind of a contradiction.
The pastor.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
M3, you out there in Cali with all the girls walking around with bottles of water and short ass skirts all the time in the summertime. Listen, stop it, okay? I don't believe you meeting any church out there, okay? You ain't in the antebellum South.
106 in Park.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even go to those churches anymore, but I'm just saying, in my past experience, This is what I experienced. I'm not trolling. I'm not lying. Like
If you downtown Compton, I highly doubt you meeting these super nice.
Well, I'm not Compton,
Downtown
he's not in Santa Barbara. He's not in Santa Barbara. It's Beverly Hills.
That's a good point, Lola. He's painting this picture like they wearing Amish gowns and shit.
Right,
You know.
Yeah, it's like wearing a yarmulke.
Let me fly. Well, let me fly you out. Have your own expenses, right?
Here we go.
California.
Here we go.
Okay. Let me baptize you, right? In that church.
Did you just say
allow you to see?
She said free flight. She said free flight.
Stop, Marcus. Wait a minute.
Free flight. I'm interested now.
Wait a minute. Did you just say you gonna fly me out at my expense?
Yeah, you gonna use your points. You got points.
Right. So basically,
what's that?
Wait. I know he gonna do it as soon as she get like on her flight. He can be like, hey, it was nice. It was having fun with you, and I told you so. Yeah, I swear.
And Anthony's gonna be like, reimburse me now. Reimburse me.
I just had to catch it because it's like, hold on, you just told me you gonna fly me out to see some shit you trying
to destroy my talking point.
And like, what is? Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
That's how competitive he is.
It makes perfect sense. M3. I'm starting to see your logic.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that you're the toxic one, M3. I'm starting to think that you were the toxic one in the cult. You know.
In the cult? Did you say in the cult?
Yep. That was non-Christian. That was a cult, bro. That was Jim Jones-esque shit.
Yeah, the M3 and Stan was like one more month away from drinking fruit punch.
That was like Serpent and the Rainbow all of a sudden. Serpent and the Rainbow.
Serpent and the Rainbow had nothing to do with church, Marcus. Serpent and the Rainbow had nothing to do with church.
Oh man, stop that!
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you already made my throat hurt.
Not
but look, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this because if you're not exposed to subcultures and certain cultures, doesn't mean it don't exist. It does exist. Number one, right? Not everybody experiences everything the same. Number two. Number three,
up there in Cali, I tell you that right now.
Number three, like we're bringing in another guy that he didn't come from this church. He come from another church. There's stuff for single people in churches that, again, I'm going to say this again, that's not talked about, that's covered up. And this is a reality that a lot of people are going through this stuff that's just hidden.
Y'all talking kind of cryptic, though, man.
If you don't experience it, doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Bruh.
That's the whole thing of like, yo, there's things that swept underneath the rug. There's a reason why people don't go to church now. We did a show on this, like why people are not going to church, why people switch to different faiths. Things, it's just that real and it's that complex and also it's just that hidden.
Hey Stan, I don't think they believe us, man. I think they're like the non-believers themselves. I'm sorry.
But it's like, I don't care. The things people watching me now and say like, "Oh, he's wild." There's a reason why I'm wild. They're like, "Okay, he's wild," and he did tell me. I don't care if you believe me or not.
It's not that I don't
and
believe.
I ain't coming back.
It's not that I don't believe, but there's too many people, and I mean way too many people complaining that you barely can find any normal female that ain't a ratchet hoe bitch trying to take your money and go on a dinner date. And not trying to do shit else with you.
Lola, they're not called dinner dates anymore. We call them feedings.
Feedings, right? Okay,
feedings.
So they're not sure. They're just trying to go on. But see,
they are very common though.
Those are common.
They are very common though.
But M3 would have us believe that these wholesome Amish girls are out there in Cali, just everywhere on every
churning butter
and all they talking about is away.
Hey Lola, they're on that bicycle with the generator. They're on that bicycle with the generator.
We're not going to throw the Amish people underneath the bus, right?
Yeah.
To be fair,
over there, defeathering chicken.
Because
all that
again, they don't have technology. It's not fair to throw them underneath the bus and have these wild beliefs about Amish. Because there's also Quakers, there's also Mennonites. There's a whole people that's like this, right?
That's who he's saying he meeting. The Quakers, or all of them girls. That's just so. But
that's on the inside, right? There's a lot of times in Christianity, there's this cult of innocence, and I will use that word cult. We forget that
cult of innocence.
Yeah, it's a cult of innocence. we act like we don't know what sin is. Like, for you to become a Christian, you got to admit that you have sinned, get baptized, and you change your life. By having this cult of innocence, you tend to not have compassion for other people. So there is this thing.
I think y'all lying. Y'all my boys too, man. It pains me that I gotta say that. This sounds like happy hour that y'all was going to.
Where do you be meeting these women?
No, this is overall. This is not about this church. This is overall about church.
Where do y'all be meeting these women at?
Church, Lola, I'm talking about church as a whole. We're not even talking about this church.
No, I'm not gonna say
there is like this thing where you act like you're so innocent that you're above sin. That's it. Like you're above sin, and you look down upon people that sin. That's the whole thing with Club Church. Like Club Med, it becomes a sacred club, and we're all Christians and a whole bunch of stuff. That's across the board with church in general. I grew up in church, not a preacher's kid, but
I believe y'all. I'm just.
And I had to leave that stuff because guess what? A lot of times, what's up, Vaughn? Vaughn can come in here. A lot of times, because you've been given grace, you don't give grace to others. That's a lot of time that happens when you're part of this. When you're part of a culture like this, it happens. It's nothing that.
Y'all need to leave. Y'all need to leave California and come out east because the churches out here be lit. I'm not even Christian. I'm telling you, they lit out here. These females in these churches will get down with the get down, and they are not born whatsoever. I'm telling you.
How do I know the church?
They're gonna get down. They're gonna get down, all right.
That's what you need to do because I don't know what's going on.
They're
out
gonna
here.
start twerking in them churches.
Y'all won't say where y'all meet these women at, but whatever the case may be, get on a flight.
I told you where I met the women at bitch ass Christian church. Like I don't get it. Like
it sounds like the only healthy club I ever joined was Boys and Girls Club.
Unfortunately, Lola, right? Like God put certain women in my path to experience, right? So I could be red pill as far as on the Christian side of things. So I'm red pill aware of like the religiosity of the church side of things because I know that shit is full of shit. You know, unfortunately.
So now you're gonna open up a new genre of the manosphere called the Christian Red Pill.
RPC, Red Pill Christians. Let's go.
That's a good idea.
So now we done went from the manosphere.
Lola, you created a monster, Lola.
Lola,
this is all you, Frankenstein.
I'm gonna definitely mark that. Do you know?
Dr. Frankenstein over here made a fucking new monster.
Yeah, Lola. Sometimes, right? This even with me too. Sometimes you gotta sit down and listen because if you're not part of the culture, we have to listen. And like these are part of the culture for some people. Again, I tell you right now, for a lot of people, mixed marriages is not about race. Mixed marriages now is about faith right now. And that's when we look at that. When we look at that, you gotta look at what's going on in your own faith that you can't find somebody that's equally yoked. And we're ignoring that.
So why is you on Christian Mingle?
Because I like to sin. That's why I say send you to heaven.
Okay, you know, it's okay. All right. Okay, Dirk, you got your answer. There you go.
Perfect answer.
Basically, he's gonna baptize you and bless you. He's gonna baptize you and bless you.
All that play on words, just to get to that. Shout out to Stan.
Okay, I get it, Stan. I get it.
Look, we could do a part 2 on this, so that way we could.
Yeah, we gotta do it. We definitely gotta do this breakdown.
Okay, so y'all make sure y'all take y'all notes because at this point, off the top, y'all just shitting on the Christian girls because y'all like their ass, but you don't like their face or their mouthpiece. One or two. I don't agree.
Or personality.
Nah, I mean you can criticize a lot of Christian girls out there. I think the guy up top just talked about how a lot of them use it as an excuse because homegirls be getting flown out, getting pregnant, and then turned over newly. All of a sudden, they're a Christian girl and want to start like a whole movement about how they found their new faith after the fact that they got their child support payments in. Yeah, they could be criticized too.
I agree to that.
But that already happened with Sierra, right? Sierra Prayer.
Y'all better stop. Stop.
No.
Yeah, the womanhood hates when you talk about Russell Wilson and Sierra. They hate it.
Stop
it's a triggering.
This is not fair. You leave her out of this. She didn't do nothing.
We got Megan Good, who married the pastor. She was the first lady.
Isn't she getting divorced? Is she getting divorced right now?
She
Yes,
no.
that's
she's already divorced.
divorced, but like he did it before it became 10 years because they
What's
got
wrong with that?
Maybe she was born again. Who knows?
California.
What's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
What's
What's
wrong with making good? What's wrong with making good?
No, I'm saying like she
That's
also
funny.
age, she fasted and she got herself a husband. So that culture
Yeah.
happened.
I'm watching the game right now too, and I'm looking at making good right now too. I was like, damn.
But I'm just saying, like, again, keep in mind, 85% is cheap. 10% is going to sit down.
I still say 95%.
And then
Okay.
5% that figure out that it's about spirituality. Again, people are in mixed marriages. And what I mean by mixed marriages is mixed faith. And that is something that's bigger than all of us because it's a straight up system problem we have to look at.
Hey, Grey Pill. Megan Good is not a straight demon, okay? She's a saint. You better put some respect on her goddamn name.
Y'all
That's
better put some respect on.
That's what they all
That's
say.
why I don't like that.
No, but she don't know what the song.
You ever notice something? If there's any way you can trigger the sisterhood, talk bad about Sierra or Russell Wilson. They absolutely despise it.
Listen, you might as well
swear to
talk
God, I
about
get some talking every
Beyonce at
time.
this point. Talk about Beyonce. Don't talk about Sierra because Sierra got dealt a bad hand. And I get it. She made one bad choice, but she was not a whole bitch before that nigga. And she ain't no whole bitch now. So y'all leave that girl alone.
Okay, so guys, I'm about to end the stream right now. Okay, this was fun. Believe me, this was definitely fun. I promise you guys, we will definitely have a part 2 on this one. Okay, but people need to go back to their families and stuff, right?
I will not be a part of it.
So,
oh yes, you are, Mark.
Yeah,
Marcus, you got to pull back up.
right.
Once you join
Nah,
the
this
stream,
was a
you
lot.
can't
Nah,
leave.
this was a lot, man. I'll see you in the chat next time.
I'll bring in some here so you can talk to them.
M3, if we don't see you on Tuesday, then that means the church done got a hold of you, man. They gonna put hands on you for all that. You gotta come with a black eye and shit.
What you should do is like you should have it like a game. You know how they say blood in, blood out. You gotta have like blood in as you come into the stream. And then if somebody want to leave, they gotta go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. Well, look, I'm just gonna make sure I stay away from the communion. All right. So yes, Toxic Tuesday. Stay tuned. Tuesday, 6 o'clock Pacific time. So don't be late, Lola.
That's 9 o'clock Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay. It's 9 o'clock tomorrow, Tuesday. Huh?
Tuesday, Lola. Yeah,
it's Monday, Tuesday.
Tuesday, 9 o'clock.
And Lola, and Monday's a holiday, so don't work unless you want to do some overtime. But don't work on Monday, okay?
Trust me, I will be in bed till 12. I got you.
Now, that's
I'm a boring girl. Okay, I'm a boring girl.
She's a wholesome, boring girl. Leave her alone.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay.
She knits sweaters
and can cook a sandwich.
All right, everybody. Look,
sandwich.
What was them old ass clips she said she be listening to with the crackling?
C-SPAN, liver box, all of that. Y'all listen to that.
She don't listen to NBA YoungBoy.
Liver box or whatever. I feel like it's gonna be fun. You just gotta give it a shot. I don't think it's gonna be boring.
Yeah, she don't listen to NBA YoungBoy. She listens to Frank Sinatra on repeat.
I don't listen to NBA YoungBoy anyway.
Guys, you can't take it personal, Lola. They're just playing with you.
Yeah,
y'all did ass serious. Y'all think wholesome girls is boring. I done heard it before, but y'all gonna give it.
You're not boring.
Come Tuesday. Wait a minute, hold up. Come Tuesday, y'all gonna give an actual explanation about how so boring people is.
Tuesday, we got a different topic.
I mean,
y'all are calling the wholesome girls boring, but y'all be crying about the toxic ones or crying about where are the good girls at.
No, I'll take boring.
I mean,
I told you. I'll take boring all day.
Marcus, I'm not asking for no good girl. I don't know what a good girl is, and I never did. So I already told y'all where I'm at.
The lie detector, that was a lie.
The unholy geometry and also Book of Enoch. I know what God set up for me. So look, I'm prepared for them demons. That's all. I'm good to go.
Talk to M3 because he sounds pretty hurt. Not healing.
M3 got all.
You dated too many Thotty McFarlanes, man.
Yeah, too many.
Look, if I go to a strip club and she's on the ceiling, that's the one for me.
Oh, damn.
Okay. We're gonna have we need that one. We need that one. Okay.
You want that Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man?
And M3, make sure you pull some clips of some men that is telling people why they prefer prostitutes and hoes. Yeah, so we can dive into that. Toxic Tuesday. We're gonna be all in.
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, definitely. We could switch the topic.
Did you say they're more professional?
Wait, so I guess switch the topic to what?
You know,
wholesome versus
yourself.
Dang, Marcus.
No.
Marcus.
Wholesome versus hoe. Which one do you really want?
What do men really want? Wholesome women or the 3/4s?
Or number 3.
I guess I got time with the okay, all right. I'll push the
push the other one back.
I'll push the one for like next Tuesday then.
Okay,
this topic's high. But look, if I'm gonna put it out there for this Tuesday, you guys gotta be there.
I'm gonna be there. We pulling up.
You have to cam up too, Lola, because we love to see your pretty
Ping me, ping me and let me know so I can stay reminded. It's at 9:00 my time.
Hit the notification bell, and then it will alert you when we go live.
We'll ping her. We'll make sure we ping her.
We got you.
I forget Lola.
I don't like
Marcus. You gotta pull up, Marcus.
Don't
be like that.
I don't know what ping is. It doesn't sound good or safe. So.
Toxic Tuesday is topic number 4. How to build a roster on Christian Mingle, starring your boy. Send
you to heaven.
Hey, Vaughn, if you're there, you need to tune in and probably come up because these people are going to explain how the wholesome Christian girls are the worst. The wholesome girls in general, but they boring, and the hoes that don't give a damn about Jesus is weird. That's
even though I feel like I broke it down to you, but I guess if you need a part 2 because you guys don't want to listen, then I guess I'll have to
Vaughn, bring some holy water, Vaughn, please. Just bring some holy water.
Now you see that he reversing it, talking about it's because I won't listen, not because he's inflammatory. Right, got you. Okay. It's fine. It's okay. I'll take it.
I think he explained quite a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all explain.
Okay, guys, we gotta go. Look, all right, Lola, I know you want to sit there and chit chat forever, right? But we're gonna have a part 2. That's the reason why we're gonna push it back. So.
There's 6 people up here, but it's because of me. Okay, I guess. Y'all are so misogynist. It's crazy. Okay?
Yeah, you set yourself up for that, M3. You set yourself up for that right there.
Okay, go ahead and end this. Shit. Okay, I'll be there. Trust me, I'm gonna have my toxic hat on too. I might even get a shirt that just say toxic here.
Nah, just say boring. Just put boring on your shirt.
Whatever, Marcus.
Okay, I'm gonna just drop you guys in the background. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships. Knowledge and Relationships reckless reviews with M3 and the Sophisticated Jerk. God damn, this. Every time Sophisticated Jerk, we always try to make ourselves have these live streams for an hour. We always break our word on it. I'm starting to think I'm a certified liar at this point. You know what I mean?
No. It's just, man, when you good discussions and stuff, man, it's hard to drop down. So I'd rather just continue it on and, have the actual discussion and stuff. But yeah, we kind of got away from the topic, but it was fun though. But
I mean, I feel like we kind of cover a lot of things anyway. So as far as the Cam Newton situation, but I just wish that with all this energy that we have, right? I wish that, outside of the YouTube realm, I wish wholesome women could actually have an open mind like Lola and actually have these type of conversations. It will make the world a better place, No,
but I do think that's a good topic because which I was saying had some truth. So we gonna break it down. But a great topic today, man. I'm glad we back at it. Had to take some downtime. Take a little breather, but
too much fool stuff that's going on in this world, man. That had to bring me back, man. So, and I don't know. One of these days, I'll whatever. When the time is right, I'll disclose. But other than that, your boy had to take a hiatus for a minute, right? And also make sure that he levels up in his advancement in his career and all that other good stuff. So, anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube. Stay tuned for more reckless reviews with M3 and the Sophisticated Jerk. I know we did this today on the Sunday, which that was a special day, but we'll go back to like our Saturday segments. Just been pretty busy. But stay tuned for Toxic Tuesdays. And yeah, so the whole title is going to be shifted to something that's more important for, you know, the viewers. So Lola says she'll be there. Cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Vaughn, hopefully we'll see you up there as well too. And I think this is going to definitely be a good debate. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and we are out. Peace, everyone.
All right, peace.